Hello, Kamarshiku here, he, her, Q Eldritch entity that pretends to be your equal. Welcome to my stream, and so I got a lot to talk about today. So thank you everyone for watching. So first of all, um, I mentioned this before, but I have big news in my life right now. My beloved partner Kira is slated to get open heart surgery. Now, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. It's a big deal, and it's a really risky procedure. See, I've talked before about how Kira is intersex. Specifically, she has only a single X chromosome. So, if you guys ever took any like high school biology and you're like, everyone's XX or XY, turns out actually, no, it's more complicated than that. 2% of the population deviates. And she is a interesting case, I'll say that much. It's actually kind of interesting how just having a singular X chromosome, she still appears quite female, despite literally not being female, at least according to chromosomes. I know it's actually more complicated than that. But yeah, I guess what this means though, like I sometimes I'll call her the primordial female. She predates the second X or Y. Uh I guess this means that while I might be gayer than you all, it also means I am straighter than you all. I'm so sorry. But anyway, now it's actually kind of interesting. It means like she's like asex, like without binary sex, which is kind of interesting. There was this really cool moment when we were going to a oh crap, what's it called? Endocrinologist. Yeah, when we were going to an endocrinologist so she can get like hormone therapy to help her with her condition. And the doctor's just like, all right, we could give you estrogen, but we also could give you testosterone. Like you could go either way. You're like right in the middle, which I thought was kind of interesting. Again, though, despite like technically being in the middle, she looks like a girl. Um, she is a girl, but she also looks like one. I don't know. It's just weird. Um, she's actually kind of fortunate with her condition because sometimes people will have their chromosome be cut off. Um, so when the meiosis is happening and forming the what is it, a fertilization? Um, the problem is the chromosomes fail to get copied. Uh, and some people, they'll get a partial chromosome. She was fortunate. She just gets a clean cut. She has one, doesn't have the other. Now, in most respects, that means she's been fortunate to not have medical issues, but she has not been immune. One of these things is that the aortic valve in front of her heart is faulty, and that's why she has to get heart surgery. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm really worried about it. So, with that in mind, I'm not gonna be able to stream next week, and I only have time for 3 streams prior to her surgery. So, one is today. Next week I'll be taking off. The following week I'll be back. And the following week will be my last stream before her surgery. I will have 3 streams before she maybe dies. Hopefully not. Hopefully. So my goal here is today I am going to finish going over my favorite things, which is what I have been doing for the past number of weeks. I'll be going over my favorite movies, my favorite songs. I also have a thing for my favorite characters. I'll just be blasting through. No Minecraft today. Today I am wrapping things up. And then the next 2 streams after that will be just me playing with my beloved wife, Kira. And we're going to finish in, like, basically, we're going to marathon our Minecraft game to finish the Nexus and dimension hopping. That way we can have this done before she has to go under surgery. And hopefully afterwards she'll be recovering and maybe I can play something else. I've been thinking about playing The Outer Worlds. The Outer Worlds 2 is coming out really shortly, and I've always wanted to play The Outer Worlds on this YouTube channel. And I thought maybe streaming it would be better than doing an edited series for it. So that is the current plan. I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Um, I hope you guys like the content. All right. All right, so here is the list. Last time we went over the nominations for my favorite movies, and there were a lot, more than any other category here. So I spent the entire time talking about that. Probably going to have to rush a little bit today, but I'm going to try not to rush too much. We got a full 4 hours, okay? So, number 10, my number 10 movie. You see the numbers are over here, right? So, number 10, District 9. District 9, I think, is a controversial movie. It's extremely racial, but I do think it has a lot to say. It's one of those times where people used science fiction as an allegory for racism. But the thing I really like about the movie is it doesn't pull any punches with that allegory. It doesn't keep it safe. It draws on real world racism to make the point. Here's the official trailer. Now, remember, because of copyright, I can't show too much about this. I have to kind of skip around. All right. So the plot of District 9 is that one day a spaceship just shows up above Johannesburg, and they go inside and find that there's a bunch of aliens that are refugees. They're starving. And so we take care of them, except they're other, they're foreign, they're alien. And therefore we put them in slums, districts, concentration camps. Uh, I think it was such a genius decision to set this movie in South Africa. Like, they're making a direct reference to apartheid here. How can we go anywhere if you have our ship? I really like how the aliens just have to like talk in their own language. They're physically not able to speak our language, but there's no communication barrier. It's just like, I don't know. They did such a great job with making the aliens. They're called by the slur prawns because they're like bug-like. They did such a good job humanizing them despite how different they look, and I really love this. It's honestly one of the best alien minority metaphors I have ever seen. And the main character, wait, where is he? Let's go to the other trailer. The main character basically has this entire arc where he works for the government and realizes, oh crap, we're doing something really evil here. Yeah, this guy right here. Really good actor. One thing that's kind of controversial about the movie is the way that they show some Black Africans, specifically Kenyans, in a very like racial light. I don't think it was exactly meant to be racist. It was meant to be just like, depicting, a Nigerian gang. The problem is they're the only like main black characters, which is why it is racist. I'm not going to deny that. My I think it was a flawed execution of what they were trying to do to the point where they just shouldn't have done it in the first place. So there is some unfortunate failures in this movie, but I still think it's a really good movie that you should check out. It's quite dark though. Kira said, it's very realistic in how it portrays how humans would actually react to aliens. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it does have like a good ending. Like, it's not like Revolution, but it's something. And so, like, if you're worried about the movie being too depressing, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. All right. I'm going to go up to number 9 now. Number 9, the ninth best movie of all time, Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. This one is kind of like, I don't know, you might be like, really? The Dungeons and Dragon movie? Really? But it really is that good. Honestly, the only reason this movie did not get the hype it really deserved is because at the time Wizards of the Coast had done the one D&D garbage and was trying to like revise the OGL, and people were literally boycotting them. So people boycotted the movie, which, makes sense. Wizards of the Coast was being pretty awful. But unfortunately, this doesn't change the fact that the movie is genuinely really good. If you missed it and never watched it, I would recommend going back to watching it. It's just like it really captures, I think, the heart and soul of D&D. So let's pull up a trailer. Okay. This trailer's not really telling me much. It doesn't really convey the the humor, I mean. Like at the beginning of the movie, they're in like this ice wasteland, and the main character, who's like the bard, is like, let me tell you about my tragic backstory. And he starts rambling on about his backstory. And then like these judges are like, okay, we don't really care. Come on. He's like, well, I have to give my tragic backstory so you understand my character arc. It's so funny. Oh, you know what? Let me show you a specific scene. The illusion scene. Yes, 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 yes. So there's one part when he finally uses his like charisma musician playing stuff. I love how like everything fits within the D&D archetype. Every character, you can kind of tell what their class is. Uh, but it doesn't feel like arbitrary game mechanics. That it feels legit. So here he is trying to play the song for these guards. It's going well, okay. But then you realize, uh-oh, wait, this is just an illusion. And he's breaking the illusion. Whirly Kiwi says, I much prefer District 9 scenario than the typical invasion scenario because it's once again more realistic. Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, anyway, highly recommend, if you love D&D, you're going to love this movie. And even if you don't, I think you would still really like this movie. Um, it has a really interesting plot about a guy trying to save his long dead wife and the relationship he has with his daughter because he's so focused on saving his dead wife even though his daughter needs him. And there's a really interesting conflict there. And there's also a really interesting theme of like found family. There's a twist at the end that I genuinely like, it brought me to tears because it's a really well done twist. And the only thing, like my biggest criticism of this movie, even though I really feel like it captures the spirit of D&D, of Dungeons and Dragons, is that there's no gay people. And that's kind of the most unrealistic thing about it. Like if this was really going to be real for the D&D audience, this he would be the only straight guy and everyone else would be gay. Oh, also the sorcerer character, actually she's pretty awesome. She's the barbarian. I really like how she's kind of a dummy, but is still like really cool. The sorcerer character here is an incel, and they have a whole arc with him kind of overcoming his inceliness. All right, moving on. Oh, sorry. Kira says the heist plan was peak D&D shenanigans. Oh yeah, because like everything went wrong. I love that. All right. Number eight. Number eight. Wreck-It Ralph. All right. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, I'm only allowed to pick one entry per franchise, per series. So out of all like the Disney Pixar movies, Wreck-It Ralph is the best one. Now, obviously, I have a bias towards like video games as a concept, so that always was going to appeal to me. But I genuinely think this is one of the most beautiful and like heart-touching movies that Disney has made, not counting random things Disney's bought out, I suppose. The entire idea here is just that there's an arcade with video game characters, but that's just their day job. They then go back behind the scenes of the game and you can see like their interior virtual lives. This scene here with all the bad guy, all the villains, like what was it, like Villains Anonymous? They're kind of coping with the fact that they're hated, type of thing. Worldly Kiwi says, remember, there is no Wreck-It Ralph sequel. Ah. All right, so there is actually a sequel, but it takes place like on the internet, and it's really just not a realistic depiction of the internet. It really hypes up like corporations and going viral and social media. It's very pro social media, which is certainly yikes. Um, there is some like story development between Ralph and Vanellope that's interesting that develops from this movie to that one, but doesn't really make up for some of the issues. Uh, yeah, it's just not as good. If you want more Wreck-It Ralph, I'd still recommend watching it. It can be a fun time, but You can really kind of see the corpo propaganda. But anyway, this movie feels like a love letter to wait, is that Sonic? Yep, there's Sonic. It feels like a love letter to video games. Like they even have Q*bert from like those really old games. uh and I think one thing that's underrated about this movie is all of the animations are done so thoughtfully. Like the Nicelander here's are meant to be like 8-bit characters, and so they're animated in a very like jittery type of way that's meant to emulate the sort of old retro graphics, even though they're now done in the Pixar style. There's just so much to this movie to like, and when they get to like the Candyland area, like I don't know, you only get to really see 3 of the video game worlds, and that might seem remarkably few, but you don't really notice it watching the movie because you're so invested in what's happening. This character Vanellope is like a child racer prodigy character who's been like glitched, like she was never supposed to exist. Some people have actually talked about this movie being kind of like an analog for like child abandonment or like being an accident type of thing. Because like she's not supposed to exist, she's a glitch, and so it's like she's a cut beta character type of thing. And Wreck It Ralph befriends her, and they kind of have this whole adventure together. And I have to say, by the way, that King Candy here is like one of the most interesting villains in all of Disney, in my opinion. Uh, the way that they start like having certain video games invade other video games and like mess up their lore and cross it over and stuff is actually really cool. Yeah, it's just genuinely a good movie. Definitely recommend checking it out. All right, number 7, K-pop Demon Hunters. All right. Uh this one has been like really, really popular lately. So I don't know if people are going to think I'm cringe for picking this one or if people are going to think I'm based, but a lot of people have a lot of opinions on it. Can I find a trailer instead of all the music? Official trailer. All right. So I've talked before about like Into the Spider-Verse and that type of animation style, but the problem is I just never really liked the I never really liked the Spider-Man mythos. I thought Spider-Man's kind of a boring superhero character, to be honest. I'm so sick of the superhero genre. Well, K-pop Demon Hunters takes that same style, that kind of almost stop motion-esque, comic-looking type of 3D animation, and is an example to me why like 3D animation can still be absolutely wonderful. You can still be extremely expressive. I think these days tend to think of those things as more in the realm of 2D animation, a sort of lost art. But the problem is just that we have a sort of like DreamWorks, Illumination, Disney sort of genre aesthetic that's like considered the right way, quotation marks, to do 3D. And I'm glad to see people finally bucking that trend and making their own type of 3D animation. So the gist here is that it's a K-pop group called Huntrix, but secretly by night they hunt demons. Pretty straightforward. I have seen people criticize this. Like, okay, actually, even I did this. After I watched the movie, I loved the movie, and I turned to Kieran like, it was a good movie. It wasn't that cerebrally complex. Like, I kind of figured where it was going, saw where it was going, and I didn't think it had like anything too revolutionary to say. It's not like a deeply political movie or anything like that. Uh, However, oh, I should mention, even like Super Eye Patch Wolf, the video essayist, also said the same sentiment. He agreed with me. But despite the sentiment, it kept coming back up in my mind. I kept thinking about it. I couldn't get this movie out of my head. I rewatched it. I re-listened to the songs quite a few times, actually. There was even this event around in theaters across America where they were doing a sing-along for K-pop Demon Hunters, where they would play in the theater and everyone would sing along with it. And Kira dragged me to it, but it was actually really fun. It was a fun experience to be in the theater and everyone singing these songs. You can tell a lot of them had memorized the lyrics too. Uh, but oh, like look at these animations. Like, oh, that's so beautiful. It really captures the anime style even in 3D, and I want to see more of this. This movie is absolutely beautiful. So I've never really cared about K-pop. I've never hated it. It's just as a genre, it's a little hard for me to get into when I can't understand the lyrics of the songs. But the majority of this movie is in English. There are some Korean lyrics, but the majority is in English. It's a bit flipped, and it's wonderful. It's beautiful. And I think the reason this movie really shines is because of its emotional depth. Yes, it's not cerebral. Yeah, the plot's not super complicated. There's this like force, this barrier between our world and the demon world called the Hunmoon, and the goal is to keep it intact. And this is what the demon hunters do. They do it with their song, with music, with voice. That's what keeps the demons at bay. And they have to kind of deal with that and save the day, pretty standard stuff. But there's an emotional complexity and a depth. Each of the characters is very, very fleshed out, and the songs they have, all of the songs are actually hits. You ever watch a movie and you're like, there's a hit song, like, I don't know, the movie Sing kind of comes to mind. Here, let me pull that up. Pixar Sing. Yeah. Like, you see a movie where it's about singing, it's about the music industry, but the songs are never actually that good, which makes the movie a little hard to believe. The songs feel very tame, very tepid, very uninspired, very corporate. Like, they were trying to make a movie about singing, but they just didn't have the chops to make actually good songs. That's not the case here. All of these songs are amazing. Like, literally not a single one of them is bad. Um, like, let me pull up. Is this okay? Nope, nope. Stop, stop, stop. Don't get me in trouble. Kira says, "Get down on your knees. I want to be your idol." Old Latin prayers in the background, and every single song in K-pop Demon Hunters is a bleeping banger. Yep. So there's this song that they release, and also I like how it's kind of realistic. Like, they're just girls, but then at one point they drop a single, and then you see like a music video for it, intercut with people watching the music video. So this is called Golden, and I can't really sing it, but oh, I guess we have lyrics there. Okay. So it's an interesting song in that, like, it's simultaneously about being perfect and not being perfect. It's almost like being aspirationally perfect. I tried to play both sides, but I couldn't find my own place. Called a problem child cuz I got too wild, but now it's how I'm getting paid. It's really good. But there's this part in the song. Hold on, let's get to it. Yep. To wake up and feel like me. Put these patterns all in the past now. And finally live like the girl they all see. No more hiding. I'll be shining like I'm born to be. So the secret here is the lead singer, crap, what's her name? Rumi. Um, she has demon patterns on her. She is tainted by demons. And this is a secret she has. And like, it's such a good part with the song here. She literally says no more hiding as she's covering up. The song is aspirational. It's about being perfect and never being able to be that perfect. You can really see the emotional complexity here, right? And I'm going to spoil a part of the movie here, but it is like the best part of the movie, okay? Um can I find the video? So the big plot of the movie is basically Satan ends up sending a demon boy band to counter them because it, kill fire with fire type of thing. Uh, and eventually they turn the girls. Okay, wait, that's an edit. Okay, here's the performance. So She has that secret, right? She's part demon and she's trying to hide it. She's hoping that if they can seal the demon world away forever, then she'll be cleansed of her imperfection. But then the lights go out. She's like, "What?" And they had toyed with the movie about creating a takedown song that was meant to be like a takedown of the boy band. And part of the theming here is like, well, they're giving in to hate. They're like going to make a hateful takedown song. Normally they've been talking themselves up. Now they're going to take someone else down. But then the song starts playing, and she has no idea what's happening. Why are they playing the song? I can't. I wish I could play it. The choreography is really good here too. I love how like she is like very confused and terrified, and like look at her. And they literally tear off her jacket and expose her to the world. And it's a horrifying moment. The only downside is you find out that those were doppelgangers. They weren't the actual girls. I think it would have been a lot more powerful had it been the actual girls and not doppelgangers, if they had actually thought that she was a demon. Like, because like here later on afterwards, like they're like, all right, I guess we have to kill you now because you're a demon. And it's just a really beautiful movie. I have heard some people like Joe Cat, a popular femboy question mark streamer. Um, Joe Cat has criticized this movie, saying that he thought it was problematic because the demons. Can I just find demons? How about yeah? Okay. Mm, see? Uh, I'll just play this, I guess. Um, so Joe Cat's criticism, and he's not the only one that has made this criticism, but is that the movie is problematic because you see that demons are people. One of the boy band members has a sympathetic backstory and regrets the evil things that he did to become a demon. But I think this is a misinterpretation of the story. The demons and K-pop demon hunters are not a minority group. I think, unfortunately, this is a sort of like socked in progressive liberal bias here. We've seen so many movies that use an other, robots, aliens, demons, mutants, whatever, as an allegory for racism. I think a lot of people saw this movie and are like, oh, it's about bigotry. And like, it's not. It's fundamentally not. The demons are meant to be your personal demons. It's meant to be hate, vitriol, anger, shame. Uh, the demons are just people that have been overcome and corrupted by those things. The only thing is Rumi, her demons come from childhood, with the way she was raised. It's really interesting how she has this mother character. And like she talks nice of her mother, but the mother, like I should say like surrogate mother. It's not her biological mother, but she raised her. That's my point. Celine. Um, the movie really kind of trashes on this woman. She raised Rumi to be ashamed of her demons, to be ashamed of the demonic patterns on her. And this is what made Rumi hate herself so much. Rumi's character arc is realizing that Celine was wrong and getting away from her, getting away from those types of ideals. This isn't a movie about how demons are a minority group that we should take seriously or whatever. Nor is it one that's like saying that they should be exterminated. The demons are us. They are just the dark side of us. And if we are ashamed of our demons, we give in to them. We feed those demons with that shame. I think genuinely it's just a really, sorry, I didn't mean to hit my headset there. Um, but I think it's just a really, really beautiful movie. Uh, I highly recommend people watch it. But I gotta move on. Oh, wait, I did want to say by the way, Kira, every time one of these songs comes on, she has to sing it. And I thought to make fun of her, this is a Key and Peele bit. This is Kira whenever the lyrics are in English. And and hold on. Let me get to a bit. and then hear like when he's mumbling, this is Kira whenever the lyrics are in Korean. Because she's trying to sing, but she's having such a hard time because she doesn't know the Korean lyrics. It's cute. Anyway, um, next up we have Barbie 2023. In my opinion, the only good Barbie movie because it's made for adults. uh, I know there's other Barbie movies, but they're always just kind of like propaganda to sell toys. They're like commercials, basically. Um, this movie was made by a brilliant director, Greta Gerwig, and she actually managed to make a Barbie movie that was extremely feminist, that has a lot to say about women's place in the patriarchy, about the concept of ideals of masculinity. Like at one point, Ken. Okay, can I find Ken? Hold on. Barbie movie Ken scene. Patriarchy scene. Yes, 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 yes. Again, I can't actually play the proper scene, but like when they cross over to the real world, Barbie and Ken, like they leave their abstract Barbie world and go towards the real world, and this is where Ken finds out about the patriarchy and masculinity. Like look at him, he's dressed as a cowboy type of thing. Oh, nope, nope. He goes to some businessmen and starts talking to them. He finds out the patriarch. He literally starts playing that country song like "I want to push you around, around, and I will." Like it's so funny the way he's basically trying to be a terrible person, but he doesn't even really know how. It has a lot to say about gender. And of course, Barbie, what's her name? I don't know. I'm just gonna play a funny scene that has the Barbie character. At one point, Barbie gets called a fascist by this child, and she doesn't know how to handle it. Come on. All right, I will refresh because YouTube is crap. It is a 7-second video, YouTube. It is 7 seconds. Okay. She thinks I'm a fascist. I don't control the railways and the flow of commerce. Great actress. Great movie. Highly recommend it. I'm gonna move on. Number 5, the fifth best movie, Tomorrowland. This one I think people really slept on because in an age of movies being really doomsday and really dystopian, a movie that is explicitly meant to counter it kind of just doesn't get as much attention, unfortunately. And I think also, George Clooney's there, and he's a great actor. So the premise of this movie of Tomorrowland is at some point in the past there was a oh wait, what kind of trailer is this? Okay. This is a weird trailer. Show me more of the movie. Okay. They showed me almost nothing there. Official trailer too? Okay. It's loading. It's loading. Okay. So it's about how there's a secret like pocket dimension where a bunch of the smartest people in the universe disappeared to. And they basically realize the world is doomed. Everyone is going to die. And so they kind of leave us behind in a sort of like Atlas Shrugged style. But the main character, this girl, is like, you're giving up on the world and therefore dooming us. You could save us. So there's a lot of a plot between like hoping for a better future and then giving up on one. It's a really good movie. George Clooney is a great actor here. He really has that sort of like genius who's like nihilistic and given up on the world. If you've ever felt like the world was really dark and hopeless, I'd really recommend this movie. They're a bit vague about why the world's ending, which I think was a deliberate choice that I don't necessarily agree with. But like it's still a really good movie. And there is a weird plot line where there's an android kid that George Clooney had a crush on, but I think it's justified within the context. It's just a weird choice for writing. Uh, Okira says, I love Hugh Laurie getting typecast as cynical butthole in literally everything he's in. Who is that? Oh, is that the Mr. The Dr. House guy? Uh yeah, yeah, he's really good. So he's like the leader of Tomorrowland. Let's imagine if you glimpse the future, you were frightened. What would you do with that information? Would you go to the captains of industry? How would you convince them? Uh, oh, I'm skipping them. With data, facts, good luck. The only facts they won't challenge are the one that keeps the wheels greased and the dollars coming in. But what if there was a way of skipping the middleman and putting the critical news directly into everyone's head? The probability of widespread annihilation kept going up. The only way to stop it was to show it, to scare people straight. Because what reasonable human being wouldn't be galvanized by the potential destruction of everything they've ever known or loved? To save civilization, I would show its collapse. But how do you think this vision was received? How do you think people responded to the prospect of imminent doom? They gobbled it up. TV, media, they didn't fear their demise, they repackaged it. It would be enjoyed as video games, as TV shows, books, movies. The entire world wholeheartedly embraced the apocalypse and sprinted towards it with gleeful abandon. Meanwhile, your Earth was crumbling all around you. You got simultaneously epidemics of obesity and starvation. Explain that one. Bees and butterflies start to disappear. The glaciers melt. Algae blooms all around you. The coal mine canaries are dropping dead, and you won't take the hint. In every moment, there is a possibility of a better future, but you won't believe it. You won't do what is necessary to make it a reality. So you dwell on this terrible future. You resign yourselves to it for one reason, because that future doesn't ask anything of you. It just cuts off here, I guess. It's an amazing speech. It's the thesis of the movie, and I love it. It's a stand against nihilism. Like, yeah, it's easy to be a nihilist because being a nihilist doesn't ask anything of you. Highly recommend watching it. Highly recommend. Fifth best movie ever. Number four, Get Out. So a lot of people have heard of Get Out. It's literally the best movie about racism. Also, Daniel Kaluuya is a great actor. This was like his shining role after Black Mirror. And it's made by Jordan Peele. In that Key and Peele skit, that was him. He's a director now. Okay, can I just? I update my ad blocker, guys. I don't know why it doesn't work reliably. It didn't used to do this before YouTube started trying to get around them so much. Okay, okay. So, Get Out is a story about this guy, this black guy. I forget what the character's name was. I know I'll just call him Daniel. Uh, so Daniel and his white girlfriend have to go visit her family. You know, it's that thing of like having to visit your beloved's family members for the first time. And it can always be a bit awkward or strange, but there's a racial component to it. It's Chris, Kira says. Okay, sorry, I forgot what his name was. Chris. Um, and this is where the iconic quote comes. He meets the parents, and they seem like nice, older, bougie, rich people in the countryside. And this guy, the father's like, "Oh yeah, I would have voted for Obama a third time." And that's really meant to kind of parody a sort of like liberal racism. I think that's one of the interesting things about the movie. Like, what's these people's politics? Like, sure, they could be Republican. I'd believe it. But I could also believe they'd be Democrats. Obviously, like, I wouldn't say most Democrats would be this racist, but some of them are. It might just be a pretending thing that they're, like, they really be more aligned with Republicans, but they pretend to be progressive. Um, this scene, oh my goodness. Oh, okay. So you don't know really what the movie's about for the longest time. He's at this party where a whole bunch of extended, bougie, older white people are there hanging out, and he sees one black guy. He's like, "Okay, fellow brother," you know. He goes up to the guy, and it's the most uncanny thing you can imagine. Shakes his fist bump. He speaks in perfect English, very well. Perfect English is a loaded phrase, but just go with me here, okay? He tries talking to the guy. He's dating an older white woman. He's wearing this like flapper or 1920s style outfit. I don't know, but like, and then he takes a photo of him and he just goes blank and screams, "Get out! Get out!" That's where the name of the movie is from. I'm going to spoil to you what's happening here. What's happening here? Why is his behavior so strange? It's because he's white. You're like, well, no, he's black, right? No, no, he is acting white. Like the subtlety in the acting is really well. It's like it's. I don't want to spoil the movie. I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say the movie gets like the movie reveals how the entire point was a sort of benevolent racism, or at least benevolent's not the right word. A sort of patronizing racism. Uh, one of the guests even says black is in fashion now, so you can get a real read on where this movie goes. Get Out auction. Yes, show me the auction scene. Let me give you a bunch of chills, okay? So there's a scene that's dead quiet. There's no sound for this scene, almost. And while Chris is off talking to his girlfriend, saying he's not comfortable with this place, he thinks he should leave, this is what's happening. A silent auction. Okay, it's over. Um, there is this unfortunate problem where Jordan Peele clearly dreamt of making this movie. I wouldn't be surprised if he had spent 10 years planning this movie, just this baby idea in his mind that he wanted to make, and he finally got to make it, and it's amazing. One of the best movies of all time. But he has made other movies since then. In fact, I think they are also really good. We have Us here, the red suit with the scissors. This movie talks about like the unequal tiers of capitalism, of living in the United States, us, US. And there's also a movie called Nope, which talks about like uh, managing animals and animal abuse and how you engage with a predator. I also think this movie is really good, although this one is quite dark, honestly. And I think they're good, but the problem is like people like Jordan Peele, they get massive success over this dream idea that they worked on for 10 years, and then they're expected to make a sequel. And I think Jordan tried to come up with some good sequels. I think they're good, but they're not really genius like his original ideas. It is unfortunately diminishing returns. His first movie was great, his second movie was, less great, and his third was less great. So that's why these other two aren't on this list. If I can only pick one, I have to pick his first one, his dream baby, Get Out. Still recommend watching the other two, but Get Out is the real star of the show. All right, next up, number 3, Spirited Away. Of course, I have a bias towards animated movies, and that's going to include anime movies. And in my opinion, Spirited Away is the original animated movie. There were ones before it, but whatever, don't care, they don't count. Spirited Away, well, okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little biased here. Spirited Away was the first anime movie I ever saw. Outside of things like Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon, basically Toonami, it was the first anime I ever saw. And I saw it when I was living in Japan. I think I saw it before anime became so commonly normalized over here in the States. Uh, but it was beautiful. It's one of those movies that like can be a comfort movie because like it's just so whimsical and beautiful, but the story demands that you take it seriously with a sympathetic heart. So it's like whimsy sprinkled with tragedy. I mean, the main character, Chihiro, she literally has to become like a child worker, like a slave, to be able to survive in the spirit world. And all the like wacky characters are so cool. I always liked the river spirit character because they just have such strange creatures. Um, Here we go. Stink spirit, whatever. So she's forced to work at this bathhouse, and they get this really, really messy customer at one point. The quality here is not great, but yeah. If you ever like Japanese mythology or yokai and wanted to really see a loving homage to it, I would highly recommend watching Spirited Away. It is a coming of age story. Again, I wouldn't say it's necessarily that cerebral, but it does have a heart to it. All right, number two, the second best movie of all time, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. All right. Everything Everywhere All at Once is the quintessential multiverse movie. The multiverse trope has been done countless times, especially with comic books and comic book movies. It's really popular these days because it makes an easy way to do crossovers between different intellectual properties without having to alter your main world. And this movie just kind of puts all of that to shame. Like I feel like I can't watch a multiverse fiction anymore. Or at least nothing that where that's the main focus. Again, I can't stand Spider-Verse. Well, nothing personal. I just can't be bothered. Uh because this is the multiverse movie. This one, like no one else is ever going to do a multiverse movie better than this one. They're just not. Um I forget what the characters' names are. It's been a while. I meant to rewatch this before I did stream today, but you can imagine with my wife, everything's been busy. So I'll just say, you have the mother character, and they're all like Chinese, uh, other immigrants, except the daughter is like was it first generation immigrant or second generation? She's the child, so she's more Americanized. But there's a multiverse plot where things and people start coming in from other dimensions. So her husband, Wade, I remember his name, he ends up getting taken over by a much more competent version of himself from another universe that tries to warn her about some grand threat, Jobu Tabaki. And so there's this whole thing about trying to like watch out for whatever this entity is. And okay, they're not gonna show you in the trailer here, but I have to show you Jobu Tupaki. Oh nope, no, not that one, not that one. Jobu Tupaki first appearance. Okay. Again, I'm spoiling here. I highly recommend you watch this movie. Second best movie of all time. And what the movie's about, I guess I should say this. The movie is about absurdism versus nihilism. Jobu Tubaki has seen every universe, can flesh between them at will. She is everything, everywhere, all at once. And as such, he thinks, well, none of this matters. I can kill anyone and everyone. I can do whatever I want in any universe because there's a million others. Nothing matters. With infinite decisions, none of them can be meaningful. And so she's a menace. The mother character learns the opposite lesson that nothing matters, but then that means we are free. It's instead of nihilism, it's absurdism. It's more that like because it can be anything, it just matters all the more. We are free to be what we want, be who we choose to be. Um, like really, I think the difference between nihilism and absurdism is nihilism is nothing matters. I want to kill myself, and absurdism is nothing matters. Let's party. It's about a sort of positive spin to it. You can tell I really like anti-nihilism media. I think it's a powerful message because I think the world is just genuinely really dark, and so having media that like convinces us to keep going. It's very anime shonen protagonist, but what if with more depth? Anyway, let me show you Jobu Tupaki. This is her. Okay, I have to. Okay, I'm gonna play just like a few seconds. Nope, no, no, not that, not that. Come on. All right, the radio dial. Look here. Tick, 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 tick. That's how she swaps universes, and you find out Jobu Tupaki is the kid. It's not really the same if I can't show the animations, but you'll have to get an idea just from the clips here. Oh, nope, nope. It's a really amazing woman. Or sorry, movie, I should say. Um, the way that she like changes her outfits and they go to different dimensions and they explore different potentialities. Um, Her ultimate mission, like the justification for her nihilism, is she is destroying every dimension to put on a bagel. Her ultimate goal is to have a bagel with everything on it. She's like, it has all of your hopes and dreams, every reality to ever exist, billions, trillions of people. Paprika. So it's a great movie. I definitely recommend it. Number one, the best movie of all time, Promare. So it's made by Studio Trigger, the same people that made Kill la Kill. I know they've made other things, but I think people really sleep on Promare. People, I don't know. I guess people just don't go for anime movies as much. They prefer like TV shows. Um, Promare is the best movie of all time. It's not perfect, but it is a masterpiece nonetheless. All right. And oh wait, hold on. No, not the trailer, not the trailer. Intro, please give me the intro. Please, I want to show the intro. Give it to me. No, it's not here. Oh my goodness. This movie has wait, the worst okay, you are. Oh my goodness. You I hate Okay, hold on, hold on. Intro scene. Ah, I can't find it. Copyright, I'm guessing. Uh but the intro to this movie is insane. It starts off in like black and white, and you see just real suffering, a lot of the world terrible. Literally within the first 4 minutes, half the world burns in an inferno. This movie goes from 0 to 100 extremely quickly. Um, the premise is that one day pyromaniacs just happened. A bunch of people were just gifted fire powers. And then you skip it to the modern day. The main characters are firefighters, and the main bad guys. Well, there's the terrorists that the burnish that like burn down things, but there's also, I don't know if they'll show it here. There's also the cops, freeze force, and they like round up people. Like they're not just they're like ice. Like they're literally called freeze force. Um, so like this movie has a lot to say about like a police state, about bigotry, about fascism. The good guys are the firefighters because unlike cops, they actually save people. Um, Also, Kira says Leo and Gallo are gay for each other, and nothing will change my mind. Yeah. So the main character is Leo. Here, let me just pull up Google. Promare Leo. So I should have done Gallo first. So Gallo here is the main character, and he is. Can I get a good image? That's better. He is the main character, the younger, naive firefighter, and he ends up meeting Leo, who is like the terrorist leader of the resistance. And you find like that's when they find out like that they are just that they have been persecuted. And I really love how they use pyromancy as a sort of allegory, or pyrokinesis as an allegory for climate change in this movie. In this movie, like, the society is literally killing the world. They're accelerating it by experimenting on the Burnish to try to use their pyrokinesis for themselves, and in so doing are bringing the world to an end. If you've ever wanted to see a movie where you could punch climate change into stopping, this is a movie for you. There's a brilliant scene, Kakusei. Scene? Is this it? I don't know if this is gonna be it. This might be close enough, at least. It's at least part of it. Yeah. So there's this song Kakusei that plays where Leo gets defeated and all of his people are about to be genocided. They are literally put into the genocide machine to be used to power a spaceship that will end the world and everyone can escape. They get put in the genocide machine, and he just loses it, blows up with a volcano of like pyrokinetic fury. And they have this, oh my god, dragon scene. Can I find this? Yes. Best scene in Promare. Okay. Interesting title. Come on. What? This isn't Promare. Oh, jerk. You faked me out. Really? This looks like it's the same scene. So there's this scene where he basically becomes a literal, like, dragon made of psychic fire, and he starts rampaging through the capital city, and they play this song, and I'm not joking, it is a song that is the theme song of when casualties become acceptable, because like they amp it up to 11. They're terrorists, but they're the subject of racism, but like the people in charge of society are about to end the world, and like the stakes become so high that up to this point Leo's been trying to be like a moral terrorist. He's trying to do good, Batman rules type of thing. At this point it's just like everything is off the table. He just starts destroying buildings, destroying and burning down. Like he kills a lot of people, but like the world is about to die. It's a really good movie, and this scene is just so tragic, and it just makes you really feel and weep, and you're terrified. uh I don't know. uh recommend watching. That's my favorite movie of all time. I wish I could actually show you some scenes, but copyright, I can't. And that's going to get actually worse, because next up we have songs. I wanted to talk about my favorite songs. We're going to also be doing that today. And copyright is going to make this difficult for me, but we will manage. So, we're going to do honorable mentions first, okay? So we have All the Good Girls Go to Bleep. Nope. I don't know why that didn't go properly. Let me type, please. All the Good Girls. So, this is a song by Billie Eilish. It is my favorite song of hers. Billie Eilish is an interesting singer where she's very talented with her voice. Oh wait, yeah, sorry, hold on. I just remembered one criticism of the Promare movie. They kind of do some queer baiting with the two main characters. I thought that was unfortunate. Still a great movie, and they're very clearly gay, but they didn't really go with it. Anyway, sorry. Back to Billie Eilish, who is gay, interestingly enough. But she's a very talented singer. She really knows how to use her voice. Her recent Birds of a Feather song really shows that. And but the thing is, a lot of her song is also a sort of like what do you call it, mumblecore, where she mumbles through a lot of her songs, and it's just not really my thing, to be honest. But this song in particular, I actually really liked. This song, I think it did the mumbling thing well. She sounds great, and I really like the message of this song. So let me see if I can just play a clip of it. All right. Nope, not yet. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the beginning, an angel crashes down, and she's the angel, crashes down to Earth, and so she starts singing. Uh, I guess I'll have to sing some of the lyrics. My Lucifer is lonely, standing there, killing time, can't commit to anything but a crime. Peter's on vacation, an open invitation. Animals, evidence, pearly gates look more like a picket fence. Once you get inside them, got friends but can't invite them. My turn to ignore ya, don't say I didn't warn ya. All the good girls go to bleep. And once the water starts to rise, she'll want the devil on her team. So it's a song. The whole point of this is that it's like an alternate interpretation of Christian mythology. Where in this interpretation here, the sorry, I was just thinking about how I think I misspoke the title earlier. I try to say I try to say like I try not to say this word. It's just a personal quirk of mine. I say like all girls go to heck, but sometimes what I'll do, I've done this with our Cinemod Fallout series, where I'll say like hail, like ice hail type of thing. So if I misspoke there, and that was confusing, I apologize. Anyway, the point of this song is that humanity has been so terrible with us destroying the world and climate change and stuff like that, that God has to team up with the devil to take out the real threat, which is humanity. It's an interesting reinterpretation. Basically, she is an angel that has been sent down to join the devil and becomes a demon or a fallen. All right, next song is Herald of Darkness. I thought this one, like, look, I was not a fan of Alan Wake. Even Alan Wake 2, I just don't think it's that good. But the music video is, it's just so cute. It's so goofy. I love it. If the entire game had not taken itself so seriously and had, like, been uh, more fun like this, I think it would have been more interesting. It's like they recap Alan Wake's life in the video game. Like, from what I've gathered, you grew up nice and sheltered, and mama gave me a magic clicker. Well, yes, I think it's true and fair to say. Come on and listen. Lost words you've been missing of the fire you're bearing. The eye of the darkness, your light. So you can see, like, and it goes on for literally 10 minutes. They just kept going. They just kept going. It's insane. It's ridiculous. So if you want a good time, oh, and like, look, they even have the maker of the game, Sam Lake, there. Like, I kind of like bold author self-inserts, not gonna lie. Okay, and now we have Here I Go. This is my favorite song by Lonely Island. They make these funny songs. If you've ever heard Threw It on the Ground, that was these guys. Okay. Kira says they performed this live at the Game Awards. Oh, the Alan Wake thing? Yeah. Uh, okay, so this one. There's been something on my mind for a long time, a special passion of mine. I do it every chance that I find. So the next time you walk past and throw away your trash, I'll pick up the phone and then do what I do best. Now here I go. I'm going to call the cops. It fills me with delight. I'm going to call my... Not call, I'm going to skip a little bit. I've been itching to do some snitching. I'm in my kitchen listening. Oh, hold on. Did I skip a part? Hold on, no, let me skip. Okay, yeah. Then I pick up that phone, and I know you're not supposed to do this anymore, but does it help to know that who I snitched on was white? White. And now that we've acknowledged that, we can all relax and enjoy this incredible song. So literally, it's like, what if he does the whole like suburban like snitching on like and like calling the cops on his on random people thing? But as long as it's not racial, it's fine, right? They even get Charlie XCX to join in here. Hold on. Yeah. Wait a minute. I'm gonna snitch like the person who invented it. My favorite part here is when they start really talking about how much they love calling the cops. Like Piggy, Babe in the City. When I smell bacon, I'm always getting giddy. They even though they're like pro cop, they still keep calling them pigs. They keep insulting them. It's just a really funny song. I highly recommend. Next up, we have Holiday. This was my favorite song of Green Day. It's kind of, it has a trans character or drag character. It's not really clear, which I don't understand what their intention with that was, but I think generally the song is pretty good. Hear the sound of falling rain coming down like an Armageddon flame. The ones who died without a name. Yeah, it's talking about like not wanting to live in the era you were born in, about the world being unjust and just kind of trying to distract yourself from it. It's hard not to feel for it, to be honest. The best part is this chorus. The representative from California has the floor. Sieg hail to the president, gas man, bombs away is your government. Pulverize the Eiffel Towers who criticize your government. Bang bang goes the broken glass and kill all the F words that don't agree. Trials by fire, setting fire is not a way that's meant for me. That's a reference to how when we did the Iraq War, France didn't agree with it, criticized it, and so a lot of right-wing and just mainstream American media started like literally hating on the concept of like French fries and the French and stuff because like you had to go along with the Iraq War. If you've seen the way that the American media has manufactured consent and kind of failed anyway, with the war in Gaza with Israel supporting Israel, that's not completely different from the way 9/11 was. I think it's worse. I think it's gotten worse over time, but it's a similar thing that they did with trying to justify the war in Iraq. All right, next up we have I Am a Thoughtful Guy. This is my favorite Rhett and Link song. And it's because it's just goofy. You ever have like those bedtime thoughts where you're like, what if this, what if that? And it's an entire song composed of that, basically. It also kind of makes fun of the archetype of like the fun fat guy who thinks he's so smart, which, you know, I relate to because that's who I was growing up. I think I'm still kind of smart, but, you know, I'm educated, but I try to be a bit more compassionate now. I am a thoughtful guy. I think a lot of things. Sorry, I think about a lot of things. I am a thoughtful guy. I think a lot of thoughts about a lot of things. I think about space and the vastness of it. I think about cake and how much I love it. I think about if Walmart is good or evil. I think tattoos are cool on other people. I think about the vastness of the ocean. I think about the difference in ointment and lotion. I think about if I should wax my back. I think a handful of nuts is a healthy snack. Um, Let's see, what's another one? Oh yeah, multiverse. Okay. I think that our universe is really one of many, with many parallel me's stretching to infinity, yet at the same time done slightly differently, and seemingly, right now they could be thinking this same thought as me. Well, a similar thought, but not the same thought exactly. So as you can tell, I kind of listen to music for a different reason than most people listen to music, which makes my music taste probably going to be a lot very foreign to a lot of you. I listen to music primarily to laugh. Now, music can also make me feel another deep emotion besides humor. Laughter doesn't have to be. There are some songs that I think are deeply serious and meaningful. I don't like a song that just feels like it's preaching to me. It's not really enough to be based politically. There are plenty of like protest songs like, okay, yeah, you're right, but this isn't really making me feel. Songs are supposed to make me feel. And laughter, humor, is one of these emotions, one that I care about a lot. And if you can have humor but also have a meaningful, deep message, that is perfect to me. This one's not that deep though. This one's just kind of goofy. Next, we have I Can't Decide. Is there a music video? Actually, I don't know if I want to find a music video for this one. I Can't Decide by the Scissor Sisters. This is a British one. Let me just look up the lyrics. Hope the Homestuck music in the background's not distracting for this part. Let's see, which one's okay, I think I can't decide whether you should live or die. Oh, you'll probably go to heaven. Please don't hang your head and cry. No wonder why my heart feels dead inside. It's cold and hard and petrified. Lock the doors and close the blinds. We're going for a ride. Oh, I could throw you in the lake or feed you poison birthday cake. I won't deny I'm gonna miss you when you're gone. Oh, I could bury you alive, but you might crawl out with a knife and kill me when I'm sleeping. That's why I can't decide. And there, I actually found out about this song with Doctor Who, where they make a video with it where the Master has basically finally won and captured the Doctor as an old man. It's a really good bit because he literally dances to the song, so it basically makes a good makeshift music video. Play track 3. I can't decide whether you should live or die. Oh, you'd promptly go to heaven. Oh, please don't hang your head and cry. It's a really good bit. I kind of like seeing villains winning, at least temporarily in media. All right. Next, we have Kissing ANCAPs. I think I want to find the lyrics for this one too, because I don't think there's a music video for this one. So this is by Patricia Taxon. She's pretty based. And this song is about basically like an anarchist falling in love with an anarcho-capitalist. Have you ever met a curiosity that you couldn't look away, like a wayward messenger from the other side of a canyon grate? It's not polite to stare, but you make it so easy. Your clique is in a BDSM relationship with the economy. Let's violate each other's NAP like the filthy animals we pretend not to be. If it's meant to be, it'll be. Love is evergreen. This coming morning will be pristine. Let's violate each other's NAP like the filthy animals we pretend not to be. I wish I would snow into February just to give you a good excuse to hold me. And then there's like a bit of a bridge here. Dun, 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 dun. And then you hear the response. Hey, like an unlighted swallow starts a fist fight, your right to property is antithetical to Christ. The time is right, so if you got something to prove, sew a bleeping yellow and black triangle flag on your fursuit. I'd like to make a living kissing ANCAP. See, I'm an animated MS Paint picture of Batman, the hammer of logic, addendum admonish, anonymous, a topic of market, and some fluffy handcuffs. So it's just like a doomed relationship. Like, why are you falling for ANCAP? Stop it. Stop it. All right, next we have Live and Learn, and I mean, come on. Live and actually, well, okay, there's not going to be a good music video for this. It's just going to show scenes of Sonic. This is a Sonic song. It is the Sonic song from Sonic Adventure 2. It's really hardcore. It just goes so hard. And you could call it cringe, but I love it. It's still like cringe. You embrace the cringe. Can you feel life moving through your mind? Oh, looks like it came back for more. Yeah, 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 yeah. Can you feel time slipping down your spine? Oh, you try to ignore. Yeah, but you can hardly swallow your fears and pain. And you can't help but follow. It puts you right back where you came. Live and learn. This is the song of Super Sonic and Super Shadow defeating the Bio Lizard and saving the world from the Ark. It is amazing. Highly recommend the song. It's my childhood. There's a nostalgia bias, I admit it, but I love it. Raphael's final act. This one, okay. Uh, Raphael. So in Baldur's Gate 3, there is a demon named Raphael. Oh, I should switch to my avatar. There's a demon named Raphael who taunts you the entire game and tries to make you make a deal. There are times where he's kind of persuasive, but to be honest, he always just seems so obviously evil that I knew just making a deal would be bad. So he's not the most like interesting character morally. Like he's very obviously evil, but he's just so catty about it. He's genuinely fun to watch. He's entertaining. But if you break into his home and challenge him, he basically tells you, okay, deals are off the table. I am going to kill you now. So yeah, you talk to him and he's telling you like, yeah, we're done here. No more deals to be made. And you have to fight him and he goes into his true form. And this is like one of the hardest fights in the game. And it's completely optional. If you get into this fight, you asked for it. The really terrifying thing is if you die here, like this is literally, heck, you will be trapped here for eternity, your soul. And therefore you have during the song, during this fight, there's this tune that fights, this build up over here. Can I play a little bit of it?
Mortal kind.
It is a video
Take away
game.
their free will and they call you a tyrant. Allow them to indulge it and they become tyrants. You would have been heroes if you'd only dealt little.
Sex. You in the end, little.
I really want to play it. I just don't know. I don't know. Okay, it is from a video game. It's from a video game. You know what? It's from a video game. It's probably fine, okay? Video games tend to get special exceptions on YouTube. Hold on. Let me try something. Speaking of cool songs, you hear Megalovania in the background. Okay. Oh, sorry. Showing Twitch. Didn't mean to do that. 1 second. Okay. So you get into this fight. And you can hear the tune before the fight starts.
Comes the claw.
And you find out the song has lyrics.
Lives expire. Souls go to their doom in flame
Pause, curtain falls, but hold your applause. Squirm, squirm, for now down here come the claws.
He's literally like singing a song while he is like killing you. He is such a catty B word. And Kira says, "Mortal souls expire in flame forevermore." Okay, I'm a terrible singer. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying my best. It's a great bit. Best song in Baldur's Gate. Next, we have So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. I am a sucker for humor, sci-fi humor even more so, and The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy just has a lot to that. And they made So Long and Thanks for All of the Fish. And in the lore of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the reason for the song is that humans were actually only the third most intelligent species on the planet. Second were dolphins. And when the world was about to end, the dolphins were desperately trying to warn the humans about our impending doom. And so they tried to warn us, but we all misinterpreted their song, their farewell, their final message as a bunch of tricks. So long and thanks for all the fish. Oh, it's not doing it. Aw, I guess I'll have to look up the lyrics. But yeah, see, it's just like a bunch of dolphin footage until eventually they leap into the sky. And they don't come down. They just leave. Let me look up the lyrics. So long and thanks for all the fish. So sad that it should come to this. We tried to warn you, but sorry, hold on, wrong. There we go, that one. We tried to warn you all, but oh dear, you may not share our intellect, which might explain your disrespect for all the natural wonders that grow around you. So long, and thanks for all the fish. The world's about to be destroyed. There's no point getting all annoyed. Lie back and let the planet dissolve around you. Despite those nets and tuna fleets, we thought that most of you were sweet, especially tiny tots and your pregnant women. So long. You get the point. They're saying goodbye. It's a funny song. I love it. Next up, we have Take My Star. So this is from an old YouTuber called Youngtown, who was kind of like a early YouTube white rapper kind of guy. He's been gone for a while, right? Oh, no, did he come back at some point? Interesting. Because last I had checked, he had gone offline for a number of years. But to be fair, I haven't really checked again for a long time. I hope he's playing Harry Potter, which is not great, but that's years ago. Oh well, I guess I just hope that he's not like a bigot. You know how YouTube people can sometimes turn out. But I don't know. I'm not going to assume that. Point is he had a good song back in the day that I really liked called Take My Star. Oh, turn the audio off. So the entire point of this song is he plays this game of Mario Party, and he's only playing it to hit on a girl, to appeal to her, but he gets so competitive in the game of Mario Party that he stops caring about the relationship and just starts like wanting to beat the game. Like it gets serious. There's like that meme of like friendships being destroyed over Mario Party. It's like that, but taken to the nth degree. Hold on. Take My Star, Youngtown lyrics. Surely, there we go. I saw this one girl and I was so taken aback. I wanted to talk to her. I was pacing so fast. I was kind of waiting in the middle of the room until I felt like it was time for me to make an impact. But surrounded by two guys starting to play the N64, I had to smoothly walk over and make sure I was the fourth. Hi, player on the system. I figured it was the only way to get with her. What are we playing, some Mario Party? Oh no, this isn't some friendly competition. She was Mario, I was Luigi. The suspense was starting to building up. I glanced over at her and flirtatiously told her, look, if you take my star, you will feel my wrath. After I steal it back, I'm going to make sure you pay. If you take my star, believe me, you'll regret it. An enemy is something you'll create. If you take my star, all I have is one heart to take. It's not that hard to confiscate. Her smile is so intoxicating and I forget to concentrate. This game requires a lot of patience. My problem is not that today. It's whether or not I can reconfigure my loss and then we can figure out if we could work out okay. This game is an emotional roller coaster. I'm hoping she'll notice what I am doing even though I'm sitting motionless. I was stoking my approach of this Mario Party focusing until she landed on Boo the Ghost. Girl, you must be joking, because if you take my star, you will feel my wrath. After I steal it back, I'm going to make sure you pay. If you take my star, believe me, you'll regret it. An enemy is something you'll create. If you take... Okay, it repeats. I know we're not together. You're someone that I can't lose, but if you steal what's important to me, I will no longer be attracted to you. Girl, I ain't playing if you take my star. I just, like, forget the romance. If you take my star, we are done, girl. We are done. I love it. All right, next up, we have Ugly Story. It's a Homestuck classic. It's just too good. I'm going to play a bit from Let's Read Homestuck. I think it won't be copyrighted. Okay, 1 second. Let me just... If I have the YouTube stream tab on a separate screen, I can check to see if I get copyright flagged. because they give you a little bit of a warning, but you have to catch it within a few seconds, or you'll get like in trouble. Okay, let me turn off the Homestuck music for a second. Okay. So this is the bit in the Let's Read Homestuck, which is the webcomic that I loved and made a video essay about, but this is a dub of it. There is a bit here where Aridin, who's like the incel Harry Potter reference character, he decides to betray the group and go work with the bad guy. Okay. Is it here at the end? It is. Okay.
Who? You ready, Prince? Bring it, mage.
Spoilers.
I'm a prince and I had a pair of princesses and two sharp squares, but then I guess I bored them both to death. And now I think my calling is to break apart and fall to pieces. Better yet, invent a brand new method of ascension. I'm impressed you managed to survive, but rest assured we'd all be better off dead than alive. Cause when they get a hold of us, we'll all be battered fried. And I'm surprised that nobody's considered switching sides. So here I am respectfully and royally destroying any chance of getting back on your good gills. And I don't mean to be hurtful, but if yellow's the new purple, well then bleeding's the new breathing. Don't you think I will? I used to wish the death of every living thing. I might be your killer, but you'll never be my queen. So put away your laughter, back up your hopes and dreams. I'm done with black backhanding and red pandering. It seems that I am just pathetic. I won't be overlooked. I'm past the point of fishing to get back up on your hook. I made a manifesto, I've invested by a crook. But never more I'm planning on claiming what he took.
Yep, that was it. So it is the Aridin villain song, and it I think really captures the hubris and the arrogance of that character. It's a great song. I should mention who it's by. Ugly Story is by I forgot what her name was. Femi-C, that's what it was. All right. Next up we have. Look, okay. Hear me out, okay? Hear me out, all right? WAP. W-A-P. It's a good song. I don't know how much I can show of it, although YouTube allows it because they give special permissions to anyone that's in the music industry. It's a hypersexual song to the point that it becomes almost parody, where the entire point of the song is just how sexual they are. I don't think I can actually play it. I think even the YouTube one is slightly censored, if I remember correctly. But it's very indicative of the COVID years, of people being trapped inside and just really, really wanting to go bang some people. And it also just has a lot of sex puns. Like, seriously, like, if you like puns, you're probably gonna like this song as long as you're okay with it being, like, explicit. I don't know, does anyone ever feel like innuendo, like the way that people like do like flirting and stuff, just ends up being sex puns? Like, I just feel like people really hate on puns, but the moment that the pun is sexual, it's fine. I'm not gonna play the song. I don't think I want to even sing it. I'd get in trouble. All right, and then we have We Didn't Start the Flame War. I don't know if I can find this one, because this one I think was removed from YouTube at some point. Yeah, so this was a College Humor song, and it got removed at some point. And I think the reason is because it uses the F slur a few times. Because this was back in the day, 14 years ago. Man, that makes me feel old. Where the F slur was just more common usage. Oh, World of Kiwi says that WAP is censored, but it's worse. What do you mean, wet and gushy? Yeah, okay, yep. But yeah, this one I think ended up getting removed because it had the F slur, because YouTube doesn't like that anymore, even though they used to be fine with it. And I feel YouTube is way too censorious, to be honest. So I don't care if you don't like the F word. I don't support this. I think the song is actually really interesting. As I showed with Green Day, they use the F word in that song too. But I mean, the main singer's gay. If he wants to say it and he's making a good point and like, you know, kill all the F words that don't agree, like he's talking about how they would demean them, and it works. It makes sense within the context. What are you gonna do? Like censor songs that use the N word when a black person says them? It's silly. Anyway, I think the song was good. Ah, ow, ow, ow! Stop it! Ow, sorry. I'm sorry. So this is an old College Humor song. Someone re-uploaded it because the original version was gone. This is a parody of "We Didn't Start the Fire," but it's about the internet, and because of its time, it's about the early internet, about like early forums and social media. And so it's about like arguing online. So I kind of like it for that reason. Let's see if I can get some lyrics. Is it going to show it? No, I guess not. But here you can see the pictures here. All right, let me look up the lyrics. We didn't start the flame war lyrics. I like parody songs, okay? All right. There might be the F slur here, and YouTube doesn't like it, so we'll put it on the other screen. So this screen is blank for now. Okay. First post, effing gay. Second post, go away. Stupid picture. Simpsons did it. South Park did it too. Rafflecopter, really stupid. I don't know. I kind of like. I hate Mindy. I hate Cindy. I hate F words and Jews. So yeah, it's a very edgy song, but part of the reason I like it is because it felt like a real reflection of the internet. They're just showing here the amount of racism even in the early days of the internet. Also sexism too. Who's the girl in that pic? I want her to show her. So gross. I wonder why girls don't come to the site. This picture for the win. I'd bone the girl in it. I'd bone your mom. You bone your palm. Oh snap. Epic ponage. We didn't start the flame war. Peeps were hating on it for I left my comment. We didn't start the flame war. Let's see. Is there another part I should read? Oh, this is really dated. Ron Paul 2012. He can't win. Don't kid yourself. He's got a chance. Yeah, in France. Bet you vote for Palin. Let's see. You guys know who I hate. People who are, this is the song. People who are mixed race, also Mexicans, redheads, and Asians. Why are you guys so racist? Why are you guys so racist? Double post. My bad. This kid's a new F word. So yeah, it's edgy. It's an edgy song, but I think it has some value to it. All right. Next we have You'll Be Back. So I like the Hamilton musical. I've talked about this before. People forget when the Hamilton musical first came out, you had to actually go to the theater to see it. Otherwise, most people just saw this. They just heard the audio. And a lot of people have reinterpreted Hamilton in the context of what came after it. It was released in 2015 originally. And I think Lin-Manuel Miranda, the lead creator behind the Hamilton musical, I did think he is a lyrical genius of sorts. I think he had a lot to say. I think this was his grand project. I think it worked out really well. The problem is that the audience he was showing it to were a bunch of white, rich liberals, and they ate this crap up, reframing the American Revolution as a progressive, anti-authoritarian, libertarian, abolitionist sort of narrative was, you could argue, a sort of like whitewashing of the revolution. I think there is a good point to be made with that. But I think people forget that often stories about the American Revolution are already whitewashed. That is the norm. So this is a deliberate attempt to reinterpret it in a more favorable way towards a different group of politics. Rather than nationalism and jingoism, it's meant to kind of be a more nuanced take, but one that ultimately sides with it. There are several points where they criticize the founding fathers and other aspects of the revolution. People talk about how Hamilton never calls out slavery, and while that might be true if you're just talking about the main songs. There are a number of bonus tracks that do try to shore that up. I think the problem is just a lot of liberals loved this so much that they basically inducted Lin-Manuel Miranda into the liberal circuit. He talked with Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, those types of people, the head Democrats, high party stuff. Went on a lot of late night talk shows. And I think in this way, Lin-Manuel Miranda kind of got watered down because I think the actual musical itself is very radical in the in the context of the American Revolution. It's kind of funny how people will act like people will say that political violence is never okay. And this is a lie. Like, no one believes that. Anyone saying that, I'm calling you out. You don't believe that. Because if you really did believe that, then you would say you were not supportive of the American Revolution. Like, are you kidding me? Everyone supports political violence. Just what differs is where you draw the line. When you think it's acceptable, when it's not. And obviously, everyone here thinks that it was acceptable against tyrants like King George III. Okay? So let's stop with this nonsense phrase, political violence, because a police officer jailing you is political violence. It's a meaningless phrase. With that being said, while I think Hamilton was kind of inducted into a lot of like liberal propaganda, I think the actual musical for itself has a good message about a flawed revolution. It's in 2 acts, and the first act is about the revolution itself, but the second act is about the compromises that came after. And while the musical is ultimately hopeful that we'll eventually live up to the American dream, it does acknowledge that we didn't really quite get there. Yeah, and there is also a point that Hamilton was found out to have engaged in the slave trade after this song came out, so that kind of looked bad in retrospect. But compared to the other founding fathers, I don't think it's entirely unrealistic to frame him relatively as a sort of abolitionist. It's definitely exaggerated, but he did argue against slavery, even if he was a hypocrite. It's how things happen. Jefferson was the same way, except Jefferson was a much worse slaver and was a notorious liar. It was not uncommon for Jefferson to speak about noble ideals and then never practice them. Anyway, the best song in the Hamilton musical, in my opinion, is the song by King George. It's a little gay-coded, to be honest, which is a bit uncomfortable, but he just kills it. The actor here, the singer, I should say, performer, whatever. Again, I don't really care about the visual here because I fell in love with the song, not the video performance. So let me pull it up. The lyrics. You'll be back. Lyrics. You say, the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry, and your tea which you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back. Soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell, you'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall, we have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love, da 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 da. So yeah, it's a breakup song between Britain and America. I love it. It's so much fun. But then it gets really serious here at the end. At the end, the music just cuts out, but the lyrics keep going as he kind of dances on your grave. You'll be back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war for your love, for your praise, and I'll love you till my dying days. When you're gone, I'll go mad, so don't throw away this thing we had, 'cause when push comes to shove, I will kill your friends and family to remind you of my love. All right, next up we have, number 10. So now we're out of the nominations. We're up to the top 10 songs, okay? Number 10. There's something wrong with my AI girlfriend's face. Honestly, someday I really want to just have a chat about politics, and one of those things I think would be fun to chat about is Dreg. Because Dreg basically has a whole like political fan fiction type of content series, which I think would be interesting to talk about, even though it's flawed. Like, oh my goodness, really? Okay, he's doing this. That's cringe in not the fun way. Don't get me wrong, I hate AI, but we don't need to be like fake racist about it. Anyway, where's the song at? Where is it at? Oh, I guess it's a little old by this point. 1 year ago. There's something wrong with my AI girlfriend's face. The thing is, Dreg makes music sometimes, and I think he actually makes really good music. A lot of it is political, but Dreg has this sort of like anti-centrist thing where I think unfortunately he kind of compromises his own message by basically talking out both sides of his mouth, and you have to decide which of the two things you think is the correct one. Which is the one he really means. It's a very sort of post-meta irony type of thing. But this song, I felt like was one of his clearest songs. The message is very clear, even if it does have a sort of twist at the end. And he even hired an artist to make it. This, to me, feels like his highest effort song, and that's why it's number 10 on my list. Particularly because I think the message is so great. Again, I can't actually play it because I'll get in trouble, but I'll just show it. There's something wrong with my AI girlfriend's face. Something unplaceable, so slightly out of place. I fixed her fingers, now she's just got 5 again. Don't get me wrong, I know she'll be there till the end, but when she whispers she loves me, something doesn't feel right. Her voice dips so strangely when she is telling me goodnight. She sets my heart alight through all my peaks and all my troughs. She's always in my thoughts, even when I log off, cause my AI girlfriend is my AI best friend is replacing someone I can no longer place. My AI girlfriend is my best friend. I think I had more, can't remember. Time's going so fast here, can't see clear here. My eyes can't stop seeing what they're... Oh, crap. My sanity receding, her grip on me increasing, her consciousness is streaming, beaming through the screen right into my waking dream. She can't be all that, she can't be all that, everything's wrong. No, it isn't just her face. Before my life's erased, I need to escape. What's this, a brand new firmware patch update? She's even more beautiful. Now, what was I saying? There's nothing wrong with my AI girlfriend's face. It's a song about a guy being completely enamored with this AI virtual replacement girlfriend. And because there's a bug, he realizes, oh no, what am I doing with my life? This is all fake. And right when he's about to run away, he realizes at the last second that, it's fixed. I guess I don't need to worry anymore. He gets suckered back into it. It really speaks to me of the horrors of AI psychosis that's running amok these days. I think Dreg is usually kind of centristy with the way that he won't make a statement on some of his songs, but this one he just doesn't really pull any punches with. All right, next up, number 9, the 9th best song, Manchild. So Sabrina Carpenter has really gotten big lately. She has a bunch of songs. You probably know her song Espresso. It's her most popular one. And it's a good song. I have to actually wonder if I'm allowed to even show it because of how sexual it is. Because again, the music industry gets special permissions on YouTube. Anyway, I guess I won't show it. But she recently made this song called Manchild that, in my opinion, is actually her best song ever because it's just genuinely goofy despite having a message. I think that's why Sabrina Carpenter is actually so popular. Despite being a mainstream artist, she just has a really good sense of humor. She is also very sexual, so I guess that doesn't hurt. I think YouTube is crashing. That's great. Woo. Will it refresh? I don't know. I guess we're just crashing here. All right. Let's try again. And again. I looked up Pokemon stuff recently, and I guess YouTube remembered and keeps showing it to me. Even though I looked it up on a different browser, that's really frustrating. How did it remember if I was on a different browser? Okay, here we go. All right. So, one thing that's really cool about the music video here is they use cars as a representation of a relationship, where she's going around hitchhiking to different relationships / cars, and they're always like broken or not quite functional. There's a huge surrealist atmosphere with this music video that makes it heighten the song so much more. Okay. The whole outfit you're wearing, God, I hope it's ironic. Did you just say you're finished? Didn't know we started. It's all just so familiar, baby. What do you call it? Stupid. Or is it slow? Maybe it's useless. But there's a cuter word for it. I know. Man-child. Why you always come a-running to me? F my life. Won't you let an innocent woman be? Never heard of self-care. Bang. Half your brain just ain't there. Man-child. So the song's like making fun of all these men that are like not fully grown up. Oh, I love this part where the guy's like doing a little dance. You go, man. Where she's like making fun of all these men and how they're all toxic and how they don't know how to treat her right, that they're bad for her. But you realize over the course of the song, wait a minute, girl, you're the problem. Why do you keep seeking these men out? Why do you keep finding them? Like literally, like, okay, like, look, hold on. Okay. Oh, I like my boys playing hard to get, and I like my men all incompetent, and I swear they choose me. I'm not choosing them. Amen. Hey, men. So yeah, it's a very nuanced emotional song. Definitely gets better with each successive listen. All right, number 8. Party in the CIA. So I had to do the whole one song per artist thing here, because otherwise Weird Al would have been half the list. I love Weird Al. Weird Al is an icon. He is a legend. He is the king of comedy songs. He is the king of parodies. He is a lyrical genius. He's made some bad songs, but most of them are great. And in my opinion, this was his best one, because Weird Al can sometimes just make goofy songs and be a little afraid to give a message. I love so many of his songs, but there's a reason his top one only goes to number 8. There are just a couple of more meaningful songs. Like, he wins in plurality, not necessarily in individual quality. He has a library, and this is the best of his library because it does actually convey a pretty serious message in addition to its humor. I moved out to Langley recently with a plain and simple dream. Want to infiltrate some third world place and topple their regime. Those men in black with their matching suitcases, where everything's on a need-to-know basis. Agents got that swagger, everyone's so cloak and dagger. I'm feeling nervous, but I'm really kind of wishing for another undercover mission. That's when the red alert came on the radio, and I put my earpiece on. Got my dark sunglasses on, and I had my weapon drawn, so I get my handcuffs, my cyanide pills, my classified dossier, tapping the phones like, yeah, shredding the files like, yeah. I memorized all the enemy spies I've got to neutralize today. Yeah, it's a party in the CIA. So it's funny that this is actually a parody of Party in the USA, right? Like, Miley Cyrus makes this song about being American, and Weird Al parodies it with a darker view of America, of how a lot of the rest of the world interacts with America through our agents. Obviously, this was more common in like the 60s, but you know, it still happens today. Need a country to stabilize. Look no further, we're your guys. We've got snazzy suits and ties and a better dental plan than the FBI's. And at the end, he gets his comeuppance. So yeah, it's just a really funny song, but also I think really condemns the CIA. I think Weird Al thought that that was a safe political message to make. All right, next up, number 7. Welcome to the internet. Take a look around. Anything you think of that you dream of can be found. So, Bo Burnham had a special called Inside, and this was the standout song from it. This is a song about the internet. I had mentioned, We Didn't Start the Flame War. That was an edgy version of kind of a similar concept, but this, Bo Burnham really, I think, cuts down to the theme of what makes the internet what it is, okay? So you can see he's singing here. Oh, I didn't have the captions on. All right, I'm going to look up the lyrics. It'll be easier for me. Welcome to the internet lyrics. I hope you guys appreciate all my singing, okay? I'm really sticking my neck out there singing poorly for you all. Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found. We've got mountains of content, some better, some worse. If none of it's of interest to you, you'd be the first. Welcome to the internet. Come and take a seat. Would you like to see the news or any famous woman's feet? There's no need to panic. This isn't a test, haha. Just nod or shake your head and we'll do the rest. Welcome to the internet. What would you prefer? Would you like to fight for civil rights or tweet a racial slur? Be happy, be horny, be bursting with rage. We've got a million different ways to engage. Welcome to the internet. Put your cares aside. Here's a tip for straining pasta. Here's a 9-year-old who died. We've got movies and doctors and fantasy sports and a bunch of colored pencil drawings of all the different characters in Harry Potter effing each other. Welcome to the internet. Hold on to your socks because a random guy just kindly sent you photos of his womb. They are grainy and off-putting. He just sent you more. Don't act surprised. You know you like it. You see a man beheaded, get offended, see a shrink, show us pictures of your children, tell us every thought you think, start a rumor by a broomer, send a death threat to a boomer, or DM a girl and groomer, do a zoom and find a tumor. And here's a healthy breakfast option. You should kill your mom. Here's why women never bleep you. Here's how you can build a bomb. Which Power Ranger are you? Take this quirky quiz. Obama sent the immigrants to vaccinate your kids. Could I interest you in everything, all of the time, a little bit of everything, all of the time? Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything, all of the time. And then, so that's the gist of the song, where he's just talking about all of the insane things that are on the internet. And he's making the point that, like, it's all about clicks. It's all about the commodification of your emotions. It doesn't matter whether you like it or hate it. Apathy is a tragedy. All that matters is that you care. It doesn't matter in the direction you care. And then he gets into this very somber part here where he starts singing very slowly. And I think it's valuable, but I'm going to be honest, obviously the first half of the song with all the juice is really the exciting part. But he still has a message here, okay? Not very long ago, just before your time, right before the towers fell, circa 99, this was catalogs, travel blogs, a chat room or two. We set our sights and spent our nights waiting for you. So he's comparing the modern internet to what it used to be, the internet at the time of our childhoods. You insatiable you, mommy let you use her iPad, you were barely 2, and it did all the things we designed it to do. Now look at you, unstoppable, watchable, your time is now, your insides out, honey, how you grew. And if we stick together, who knows what we'll do? It was always the plan to put the world in your hands. And you fell for it. Could I interest you in everything, all of the time? A bit of everything, all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything, all of the time. So yeah, the whole point of that bit there is he talks about like what the internet initially offered, what the internet used to be like, and how we promised, we being like the people that were putting stuff into it, the dot-com bubble, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, the big companies, the governments even, that the powers that be that were creating this internet and were allowing it to be, you know, open source, distributed, or whatever principles you could say went into the internet's creation to develop humanity, to bring us into the information age. You actually fell for it. You sucker. You fool. You thought we were here to help you? Idiot. You this was heroin and you bought the free sample. And I'm not saying that internet is inherently a terrible thing. But because it was good. In the analogy, the original sample of heroin was actually therapeutic. But it's not anymore. Now it's, cut with fentanyl or whatever you want to say. The internet is commodified. It's a walled garden. The internet is now the terrible thing that he talked about at the beginning, just trying to gamify your emotional state. That's why I love this song. This song acknowledges why the internet was so promising, and then laughs at you because now they got you. And we can see that nowadays with companies like Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, Steam, Twitter, Palantir, just companies that are going to use the internet to create something Orwell would have had nightmares about. Back up your media that you own. I'll say that much. All right, so this is 10, 9, 8, 7. Number 6, Hurt. I'm not a super big Johnny Cash fan, but this song's just too good not to love. This song is just brutal. It's such... Oh, I gotta mute it. It is such a brutal song, but it makes you feel so hard, and I think part of the reason I like it is because it's a song about hubris, It's a song about being at the top of the world and realizing it means absolutely nothing. And that's just not exactly a kind of song I think you hear very often. Oh, Whirlicuis, by the way, says, foolish internet user, we laced your crap. Yeah, basically. Man, I'm going to miss the Wild West days of the internet. No amount of harm that those days had is going to even come close to the harm that the new internet's going to have. Anyway, so you have this very soulful song here. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole. The old familiar sting, try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become, my sweetest friend? Everyone I know goes away in the end, and you could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down. I will make you hurt. It's a song that makes you cry if you haven't heard it before, but it's amazing. It's a song about being at the top of the world, but also rock bottom. Next up, we have number 5, Undertale, which is just like over here. Video games, you got Undertale too. Now, what I mean by Undertale is I mean Undertale the musical. And I think there's a high likelihood they haven't copyright flagged this one, so I might be able to actually play it for you. Man on the internet and all of the people that they hired made this music video. It's so amazing. What? Oh, they combined the whole musical into one video. That's not what I was expecting. I just wanted the one song. Where's that? Down here. Here it is. Undertale. So I'll try playing this. I think I'll be allowed to. I'll need to tear this off. Ah, stop that. Okay, let's turn the Homestuck music off. I'll keep an eye on copyright shenanigans. And let's get some sad face up in here. Sad. All right, let's play this. This is kind of the central theme of the Undertale game, told in the form of song. Okay, gotta turn that down. Oh, hold on. Kira says, the first time I heard Hurt was when the Woman Cop and Person of Interest did it, and it was effective. Person of Interest was an underrated show. I should have maybe put that on my list of shows. The only problem is the main actor became a fascist, like literally a QAnon supporter, which is like, did you not understand the point of the show you were in? No copyright flags yet.
So much blood, so much pain. Now I've lost my son again. One day soon, freedom shall ring. So proclaims the Mountain King.
This was once my home. Now, there's nothing here but tears and memories.
There was peace, they all lived happily, cherishing every breath. In many times well spent, suddenly things went wrong. They could not get along, darker days loomed ahead. Their stomachs filled with dread, common sense forgotten. It was friend against friend, civil war, and sadly humans showed no mercy, monsters forced underground. So our tale begins now, child of the world above. The below was shown love.
Where am I? Did I die? Looking up, I see the sky.
Hey there, guy. Are you
Sorry, I have to play the whole thing.
alright? Come with me. I will not bite. Let's be friends until the end. The king and queen will be happy.
Always be determined.
Come on, smile, second child. We'll be here for quite a while.
I feel ill as real. Promise me just one thing. The golden flowers in my town. Let me see them when I fall down.
I'm sorry. Please stay with me.
Just gonna pause. Part of the reason I really like this song is because it goes into some of the backstory that you only ever really hear about in the game. So it's like a way of showing it to the audience.
The shield above won't let me leave. I'll always be determined. I know I failed you, but with both our souls, I'll cross the barrier and to your town we'll go. Now at
they presume that just because he's a monster that he must have been the one to kill the kid when he was actually laying the kid to rest.
My ears ring, my body stings. That's okay. I will not stay. Oh, Mom, Dad, howdy. I'm fine. I wouldn't come back just to die.
And then he dies. He disappears into ash. Which is what happens when monsters die. And it's like the artwork is so beautiful. And like Kira just says, uncontrollable, incoherent sobbing.
Now it seems that once again
Asgore is one of the most interesting characters. Like this is the motivation for what he becomes. He does not handle the loss of his child, both of them, well.
everything's been taken by the humans up above, who have killed my children. No more humans here will fall, for we will kill them all, and their souls we all shall take. The barrier will break.
Asgore, I will not be shy. Asgore, I demand why. You can't see your big mistake, even through your own heartache. I'll find humans who come through. I'll keep them safe from you, and I will remember well my sweet lost Azrael.
All right, that's the gist of it. It goes on to be like, what are you going to do now, Frisk? But yeah, it tells this backstory. It's so amazing. It's so beautiful. It makes me cry just thinking about it. And there is a detail in the story that the kid actually happened to be evil, and that a lot of people just didn't know that, which is kind of funny to think about. But it doesn't change the fact that the real evil was kind of humanity, right? Or at least those humans, for judging him as a monster. And it really explains why Asgore turned out the way he did. There are other good songs in this musical. Another really good one is Asgore's song, where he talks about how he has no choice but to kill children now. Or humans specifically, even if they are kids. And you can kind of understand why he fell to doing that, even if it's wrong. It makes me cry. All right, we're gonna move on now. Number 4, the 4th best song, Vending Machine of Love. Now, I definitely can't play this one. Stupendium has been pretty cool with letting people use their music, but you have to get special permission. The Stupendium has made many really good songs. In fact, they recently made a Bellatra one. I need to see that. One of their best ones, in my opinion, was the Outer Worlds song, The Fine Print. It's really good. The Stupendium has some in Slide Into the Void. Oh, okay. You know what? Just, honorable mentions, I guess, except they're not because I couldn't pick them. Slide Into the Void lyrics. It's a song about control. Stupendium is the best video game musician because he doesn't just make it a bunch of references. He tells a story. He talks about what the game is about. Now, I don't think all of their songs, because non-binary, I don't think all of their songs are necessarily great. Sorry, I just think some of them are hit or miss. But when they hit strong. So Control is a very liminal type of Eldritch game. So you hear the hiss. You hear our words, but you forget. Push your fingers through the surface to the wet. We wait in the stains. We build you till nothing remains. In the name of the sound of the name. Repeat the word, repeat the word, repeat the word. Egg cracks and the truth will emerge. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. You are home. You remind us happy. So yeah, it's a really good one. And then also, the fine print. The Outer Worlds one is really good too. Welcome to space. What were you expecting? It's a dangerous place. Thank you for investing. Go there for your rota, there for your orders. Fill up these quotas. We bill for your quarters. Report to your foreman, but watch for marauders, because if you get eaten, there's fees for your mourners. Prosperity's there in the care of magnates, and halcyon heaven awaits. Did you think it was supposed to look like the poster? It mostly does. Oh, if you'd only read closer. Just tend your ears to a new frontier. Snooze as you cruise, and you'll wake up here. You've been trapped in that ship for an awful long time, so perhaps you have simply forgot what you signed. Oh, honestly, did you not read the company policy that defines you as company property, that waivers your say in autonomy? The conglomerate's got you in lock and key. We put the dollar back into idolatry. If you're upset, you can rent an apology. We are a family forged in bureaucracy, no I in team, but there's con in economy. Were you expecting adventure? Were you hoping for fun? My friend, you're indentured, and pleasure's exempt from your tenure, so venture back down to your slum that's provided at generous prices. Your worth is determined by your own sacrifices. A small term of service went down on the surface, and term it's a freebie that comes with the purchase. We work to earn the right to work, to earn the right to work, to earn the right to work, to earn the right to give ourselves the right to buy ourselves the right to live, to earn the right to die. It's a song about capitalism, about living in a company town in space. It's a genius, but it doesn't hold a candle to their best song they ever made, which is The Vending Machine of Love, which was basically their coming out song, where they decided to come out as, originally pansexual, later non-binary. It's a song that is the official theme song for the game Only Cans, where you date a bunch of beverages. Wait, what? Why is it in a different language? Okay. Thanks for nothing, YouTube. What? Okay. So normally YouTube will auto-generate subtitles, which is kind of what I've been using whenever they didn't have official subtitles. But for some reason, YouTube picked up that there were some Spanish lyrics in the song and decided to have the whole thing be Spanish generated, which auto-translates with AI, which is genuinely garbage. I don't mind the auto-dubbing, the auto subtitles, because that's just about algorithms that recognize speech. That's been around for like a decade now. It's the translation stuff that uses AI that's particularly gross, because translations just aren't a scientific one-to-one thing. Kira Marsh says, I hate you for this one, LOL. Look, it's a really good song. Oh, okay, the lyrics are on the screen. I don't have to worry about that. Okay, cool. Hey guys, any desiccated ladies trying to get by? I know the best way for the girls and the boys to come together and enjoy a little moisture. So you're waiting on the mate that's 1 in a million, and carbonation ain't the way that you envisioned. You say it's strange, but baby, shed your inhibitions. Hold on. And help you slip into something aluminium. And so effervescent, subtle bubbles in my stubble feeling ever so pleasant. Never thought I'd find a girl with such a delicate essence. I have the delicatessen. Stupendium is a master lyricist. Genuinely the best one ever. I don't know someone who can do lyrics as great as the Stupendium. There is a really great bit where they really go into detail about all the nationalities and ethnicities of the sodas, and I have to read that bit. I have to sing it, okay? This is it. Okay. Maybe fizzy, but I'll spill a little candor. Sure, it's tricky, but we'll lick the spillage after. There's only one app for 10 can philanders, snapping what you did with your candid camera. Can. Yes, it can. And candies, cans are Canucks, cans in Canada. Manly cans in Canberra and canoes, grabbing noodles and canoodling with cans in Cantho. Mexican cans in Cancun, scantily clad in their scanties decanting at you. Camping with a Scandinavian can under a canopy alone in a canyon with your can boo. Share a cannoli with Italian Italian cans on the canals before a candlelit dance, then canter off to Canterbury for a canny romance. You better cancel your plans. This Cansanova can't handle the demand of Cantabria, Canaritas, and cantinas with fans on the Canary Islands. Strip canasta till you're down to your pants, and can you companion frost over your hand? This Cantinis cheeses are your creamiest stands, so go over to Cambodia and let your local flavor flow over you, getting down the hard round chromium. Lovin's never been so low sodium. Can looking like a snack, that's a canapé. Can panning like Barack, that's a candidate. Can sweet on your tongue, that's a candy cane. Can rocking them guns, that's some cannonade. Feel that feel that can in your heart, that's a cannula. Can sends its regards, that's a canister. Oh, that's a canister, baby. Inquisitive can, that's a canvasser. Insensitive can cantankerous. So slot your pennies in the vending machine of love and pick that fizzy little minx that you've been dreaming of. If you're cursed with the thirst of a lonely man, you can get your fuses flowing with some only cans. It's amazing. I love it. It's so gay. I love how gay it is, and it's gay for soda. The ethnicity thing is just so like wholesome. I love it. All right, moving on. Number 3. 2 minutes notice. So I talked before, my favorite shows. You see Hazbin Hotel up here, and I thought actually Hazbin Hotel was not just really good, third best show ever, but also it was better than the other show, Heck of a Boss. Despite this, Heck of a Boss has the best song in the entire VivziePop series. Even though Hazbin Hotel has consistent banger songs, and Heck of a Boss is not so consistent about that, one of them stands above all the others. This is a song about a demon living in Heck who is forced to perform for the boss, the devil of greed, and he hates it. And so he decides to quit in the most public way imaginable. If you've ever wanted something like this goes beyond just Heck of a Boss, by the way. This is a song that anyone can sing if you want to fantasize about quitting your job. I have wasted time, I have seen my use, I have packaged and sold every part of me, suffered a lifetime of abuse. I have lost myself, I have worshipped at your feet, and here I am standing on top of the world with some B words to defeat. I played the game, I've won it all, they screamed my name, they bought the doll. I've seized the day, now I've got one thing left to say. F you, here's my 2 minutes notice, F you. Time to quit and smell the roses, say goodbye. While I look you in the eye and say F you. You ever been crushed under your heel? I have suffered for profit and suckered for fame. Made a fortune you could steal. I've had to hit the wall. I'm tired of taking your calls. It ends today. Now there's just one last thing to say. It's F you. Wish I'd say it sooner. F you. Cut you off just like a tumor. Hope you die. Kiss my goodbye. You. There's a lot of cursing. Let's see. Let's get up. Did you ever think I'd stick around? Be 6 more feet under the ground. All right, and you get the gist of it. It's just a really, really good song that makes me fantasize about quitting my job. Number 2, the second best song of all time, the Transcendental Cha-Cha-Cha. Tom Cardy is another comedy musician, but unlike someone like Weird Al, he doesn't really do parodies. He does completely original songs. And some of his best songs also have a genuine message. Like a good one here is Why Am I Anxious? Where it's someone singing about how they're anxious, and the reason is because, well, you don't take care of yourself. Another good one is Red Flags, where this girl's favorite movie is Human Centipede, and he's like, what? Perception Check, it's a D&D song, great. HS is about believing in yourself, using the plants as a metaphor, but his best one is the Transcendental Cha-Cha-Cha. This is another nihilism, absurdism type of song. I have a type, okay? Excuse me. But the animation is beautiful. The science is great. Kira says that she likes HS better than Cha-Cha-Cha. Well, sweetie, it's okay. I love you. You were almost right, but I'll love you anyway. So this one's great. Welcome to the Interplanetary Ballroom, the only dance hall playing the hits from the past, present, and future temporal sectors simultaneously. A little warning to all of our dancers tonight, who only perceive in 3 dimensions. This next one's a bit of a doozy. Salsa, cha-cha-cha, dance floor, cha-cha-cha, rumba, tango, mambo, muy picante. I don't know the Italian bit, sorry. Champagne reality, grace time, gravity, move to the beat of the transcendental cha-cha-cha. Look through time and witness your death. Grab your partner by the head and reveal to them the ultimate secret. The multiverse is getting colder, cooler, so every universe somehow's got Zumba. Okay, hold on. Jump back in line, transcendental cha-cha-cha. Time forward, backward, take 3 steps, shimmy to the right, witness the void. The void's got style, the void can dance, the void wears tearaway pants. The void consumes all realities, which up until now includes 7 billion Bellinis. Somewhere out there's a planet just like you, or a perfect carbon copy of you that looks identical, that looks and lives and breathes exactly like you, except for one big difference. This you is not scared to hit the dance floor. Cha-cha-cha, salsa, rumba. It's so great. Let's see. Oh, this part's good. Infinity is a long time, especially when you're waiting in the drinks line. Existential thoughts assail you. At least now you got a margarita, but now it's a dog. Now it's a cat. It's everything and nothing. It's a baseball bat. Suddenly you're standing somewhere on an alien planet where cocktails haven't been invented yet. Oh, now you're an old French dandy. Now you're made of cotton candy. Now you're back in the club, a little less scared to shake your rump. Now you can see what we've seen. Now you've been where we've been. The music's always been playing from the start till the end of time. So yeah, it's about embracing the absurdity of reality, the chaos that comes with existence, and just kind of dancing to the tune of eternity. It's just an amazing song. The beat's killer. It has space stuff. It has a genuine message. It's hard to say more than to gush because all these songs are so good. And then, okay, number 1, the best song of all time. And remember, I could only pick 1 song per artist, so I was limited. I was limited with what I could do here. Okay. Pink Pony Club. Chappelle Roan has recently become my favorite singer. She's very gay. She's very good. I wasn't a fan of her most recent country song. I felt like she didn't really understand what country music was about, so it's just kind of lesbian country. I think fundamentally a lot of country music tends to be pretty shallow, and I don't think she went shallow enough. But Pink Pony Club is my favorite song of hers. She also made Good Luck Babe. Good Luck Babe is a really good one as well. It's a song about like a lesbian breakup where she's in love with someone who's like a closet case who won't admit she's gay. But in my opinion, Pink Pony Club is the best song. Now, some people might rebuke that because like, I think Pink Pony Club has by this point become so incredibly popular that a lot of people feel it's been overplayed. And I'm going to be honest, you know, skill issue. Like, if a song's amazing and gets overplayed, it's still amazing. You might not like it being overplayed. You might not want to listen to it as much. Fine, but you should still acknowledge how amazing it is. It doesn't become less amazing just because you've heard it a million times. I've heard it a million times, and I don't think I've heard it enough, quite frankly. Kira says, I do love Pink Pony Club. I have both that one and Good Luck Babe memorized. Yep. Also, I do think the original version of Pink Pony Club is the best version. She has done performances and sung it more recently, but the song really is part of her origin story. Chappelle Roan is very young in this video. And I say it's very young, I mean like she's like 20 or something. Where she's kind of matured and become more successful. But this song, the point of this song is not knowing if you're going to be successful. It's about taking a risk, upending your life to follow your dream. But one where your dream is kind of taboo. So it's like a biker bar. So like this is just some random gig she was able to get. And even though she's supposed to be doing some like country thing, she's like, no, I'm gonna do a flamboyant type of like burlesque stripper type of dance, you know? I know you wanted me to stay, but I can't ignore the crazy visions of me in LA, and I heard that there's a special place where boys and girls can all be queens every single day. I'm having wicked dreams of living Tennessee. Oh, Santa Monica, I swear it's calling me. Won't make my mama proud. It's gonna cause a scene. She sees her baby girl. I know she's gonna scream. God, what have you done? You're a pink pony girl and you dance at the club. I'm having a hard time really conveying the quality of her singing here. Oh, mama, I'm just having fun on the stage in my heels. It's where I belong, down at the Pink Pony Club. At the Pink Pony Club, West Hollywood. Okay, you get the jig. So it's really good. It's really good. It's like over the course of the song, she grows up. She starts off as like so unconfident, like she's so like they literally have her be bad at dancing, but over the course of the song she matures with her confidence. She has this bit where she kind of like plays towards like the rural Tennessee Southern crowd and then goes nah, which is kind of funny because I do think people really coddle a lot of like rural people, even though a lot of them are really ignorant and are trying to vote to make the country worse. Don't think I've left you all behind. Still love you in Tennessee. You're always on my mind. And mama, every Saturday, I can hear your southern drawl 1,000 miles away saying, God, what have you done? You're a pink pony girl and you dance at the club. Oh, mama, I'm just having fun. It's where I belong, down at the Pink Pony Club. And it's based on a real club that actually exists in Hollywood, which has since been shuttered. The really tragic but beautiful thing is you see here at the end, it's not just the bikers anymore. A bunch of leather daddies have come in, drag queens. It's like a whole gay club. It's a fun time where people can just express their sexuality and gender and who they want to be and just have fun being their real iconic selves. And then at the end of the song, the hype dies down and you're left wondering, did she make it? Is it real? Or is this just a fantasy that she's having? She doesn't know. She couldn't have known that she would be successful, but eventually she was. So, she got to make her dream. She has some other good songs. I haven't listed all of them, but I think her breakout hit is her best one. I look forward to seeing more of what she has to make. Those were my favorite songs, all of my favorite songs. But we aren't done yet, because I have one more section. Characters. So I'm gonna go over my favorite characters of all time. Fictional characters from various media, probably gonna be anime and video games, just because that tends to be my thing. This one isn't exactly the same, but I have some favorite characters I wanted to talk about. I think that's worth mentioning. So think of it as a little bonus on the end of the stream. Probably not gonna go for the full 4 hours at this point because my voice is hoarse. But let's do the characters now, all right? So first of all, we have the nominations down here. Alastor the Radio Demon. So this is from Hazbin Hotel. In my opinion, he's one of the most interesting characters from Hazbin Hotel. Oh, there's a gnat. Die. Here's his edgy form. Let's get his more suave form. I guess. Here. Yeah, this is fine. So he represents the evil that can happen with talk show radio. Thus, he tends to be one of the most powerful demons in Hazbin Hotel. I really like him. It's really interesting how he's extremely villainous and yet is aiding the good guys. So you're constantly wondering why. Why are you helping us? But he keeps helping. And so there's this kind of parental relationship between him and the main character. But like you as the audience know he's evil. It's to the point where you wonder, does she realize he's evil? I don't know if she gets it. And he also has this like kind of Wendigo theming, which I think is interesting. And honestly, I like that he's asexual. He's an ace character, and he doesn't even realize it. They call him an ace in the hole. I think the reason I like it is because I've seen other ace characters in media, but one, I'm sick of ace characters that are just genderless robots. And two, I'm sick of ace characters that being ace is like their whole thing. I'm sick of it being like, oh, this person doesn't want romance, doesn't want sex. Let's have a whole story arc about that. And I like Alastor because he can be an evil demon trying to conquer the world, and just being an ace is an incidental part of his character. He is too busy trying to rise to ultimate power to worry about romance. So yeah, that's why I like him. All right, next up we have Bayonetta. it's hard not to like Bayonetta. She's just really, really cool. Um, this is her. Okay, this is her original design in the first game. And then this is her more like butch redesign in the second game. And there was a third game. We don't talk about the third game. The third game was not good, unfortunately. And I think that's part of why Bayonetta ranks so low for me. Bayonetta, for me, was an example of how you could have sexualized female characters done right, to have them be very confident in their own sexuality. She is a power fantasy for women, despite also being attractive for men. Those two ideas are hard to disentangle. They're kind of inflated. But I think it's still important to recognize that I think a lot of women look at Bayonetta and they'd be like, yes, I'd be happy to be her. And that you can't say that about every sexualized female character in media, but you can with her. She is powerful. I also like that she had this like lesbian relationship with Jeanne, another witch in the game. And there was Luca, a boy in the first game. He liked her, but she clearly just was messing with him. In the second game, she has to rescue Jeanne as her damsel. In the third game, they make her straight again, which was really annoying. It's part of why I don't like the third game. It also does multiverse stuff in a way that I don't feel was very interesting. But the character still has a strong place in my heart. I was one of the people that voted in the Nintendo poll to include her in Smash. So when she actually appeared in Super Smash Bros., I really liked that because Nintendo actually did save this franchise. It's the only adult franchise they have ever participated in. Bleep Nintendo in general, but that's one good deed, I guess. All right. Next up, we have Edward Richtofen from Call of Duty Zombies. It's a big part of my heart. It was big growing up for me. And he is a terrible person. He is literally a Nazi. Can I find one of his old pictures? Yeah, here's his old one. He's terrible, but he's like the main driver of the story. And I have to be honest, he's pretty humorous. So as like a villainous Nazi character that like becomes an ethereal being possessing a little girl, pretty interesting. Next up, we have GLaDOS. I mean, this is kind of an obvious one, but the reason Portal 2 is an amazing game is genuinely because of GLaDOS. GLaDOS makes the game. She's constantly terrorizing you, insulting you, and she has so much hubris to her. And the story even goes on to kind of humanize her later on. I think one of the most interesting things about her is that she's a villain that understands the threat that the hero is. In most media, the villain just is dogmatically pursuant of the hero. In this game, in Portal 2, GLaDOS realizes she can't beat the main character, Shell. She can't. So she just lets you go. She gives you what you want and just goes, go away. Leave me to my villainous devices. You can just have your freedom. I don't want to deal with you anymore. And that makes her seem more intelligent than almost any villain I've ever seen. Next, we have Groudon. It's my favorite Pokemon. I also like Ditto and Smeargle. It was a tough choice, but after thinking about it, I just have too much nostalgia for Pokemon Ruby and Groudon. The idea that it's like a Leviathan Titan kind of based off of Christian mythology, which is strange. I didn't know that at first, but it's meant to be the Pokemon representing land, and I just thought it had a really, really cool design. I particularly liked the fake Groudon from the Jirachi movie just because of how demonic it was. Here, let me... Okay, I guess you're seeing it in the tiny window there. Okay, here we go. Yeah, the demon Groudon, basically. Anyway, next up, we have Kyubey from Madoka Magica. I already talked about him a lot in Madoka Magica, but Kyubey is the alien employer that will work you to death. Want to make a contract? Come on, it'll be fun. I want to see... Where's that meme? There's a funny meme. Oh. No, hold on. I can't find it, but there was a meme of Kyubey where people were like, why does everyone hate this cute animal so much? Oh, this one's funny. Trust me. Would I lie to you? Next up, we have Leshy from Inscription. So, I want to see him. This is more how he looks like at the beginning of the game. You do get to learn more about him and see him later. But when you play Inscription, you're playing a card game, and Leshy is the dungeon master, basically. He is the guy you're playing. He is setting the story. He locks you in a cabin and forces you to play a card game with him, and he is terrifying. He is absolutely like look at his hands. Like he will kill you. He will straight up kill you. And so you're playing this game that's super dark, super engaging, and your life is on the line. But it's kind of interesting at how he's like a fair player. If you start winning too well, he'll even increase the difficulty. He might accuse you of cheating. But at the same time, he will also get more and more desperate if it looks like you're winning, because his goal is to make a challenge. Leshy is the ultimate heel. And I'm going to spoil, but later on in the game of Inscription, you find out this is all an act. It's a video game. And he knows it. He's playing the role of villain. He's giving you an engaging story. So by the end of the game, when the ending happens and everything comes to a sad conclusion, Leshy is there, this guy that's terrified you for half the game, and he shakes your hand. It's been a good one. He is the wrestling heel of the game. I love him. And then we have Majin Buu. So Dragon Ball Z is a mixed bag. There are a lot of things I like about it, a lot of things I don't like about it. But in my opinion, Majin Buu was the most interesting villain. People talk about Frieza, but like, I'm going to be honest, Frieza's kind of cool, but Frieza's just kind of a space dictator, like Space Hitler type of thing. There's a lot of Frieza's story that kind of goes unsaid. I would personally want to rewrite the way Frieza gets introduced, because it feels like Hitler is one of the first bosses, and then it's like, okay, where do we go from here? Where do we go after Hitler? And they bring in Cell. A lot of people like Cell, who has this like arrogance and hubris. But he was so arrogant. I never found Cell to be fun, to be honest. Majin Buu is fun. Majin Buu goes around terrorizing the world, turning people into candy and eating them. There was always something so horrifying to me as a kid watching him doing that, watching how much glee he could have while he destroys the world. The fact he even makes friends with the strongest human or whatever, Hercule, Mr. Satan, I thought was always hilarious. That like the moral compromise of like living and being friends with a mass murderer, but it ends up working out and convinces Buu to turn a leaf and be good. There are horrible consequences to Buu doing that, because part of him disagreed and so they split. But I always thought, like, I'm not saying that the Buu arc, the Buu saga, was the best saga of Dragon Ball. Maybe honestly in that case the Cell saga is the best arc. But in terms of villains, Buu was just the most fun villain. I kind of don't like that they shun Buu as a character in all of the media that comes after, whether it's like GT or Super or whatever. All right, next up we have Nashra from Fear and Hunger. Part of the reason I like him is because he has the most in-depth backstory. Yeah, this is a good image. But he also has kind of the most personality. So this is Nashra right here, the floating head. He is an immortal, or seemingly immortal, enemy that you can find in the game. And he will always kill you unless you can find a way to convince him to join you. It is so amazing the amount of secrets in this game. I should mention that, so his backstory, you find out about the gods of Fear and Hunger, that there are the old gods, the new gods, the risen, ascended gods. He is an exiled member of the new gods. So even though he's been decapitated, he's still conscious and still very powerful. And it's revealed he was exiled because he was gay. It's also implied that he's raped people. He's not a good person by any means. There's a lot of edgy, terrible stuff in this game. But because he's an enemy of your enemy, you can recruit him to take down the other gods. And the end of his story is hilarious, which I'm going to spoil. But the entire game, he can just ignite people and set them on fire. At one point, you go to the Hall of Slain new gods, where all of the new gods live in immortality, and he burns them alive, and so they have to kick him out because he's killing people's eternal souls. He'll even try to set you on fire if you try to sleep with him, because you can sleep with various characters. If you try to sleep with him, he's just like, no, and sets you on fire. But if you go to fight one of the old gods, Grogorath, the god of destruction, something more powerful and ancient than we can ever know, Nashral's like, aha, I'm finally going to take you out, Grogorath. Time for me to rise in the ranks. And Grogorath sets him on fire and turns him to ash. And he's just dead. That's the end of Nashra. That's the end of his story. He thought he was all that, and he's nothing compared to the old gods. All right, next up we have Fi from Zero Escape. Zero Escape had a number of cool characters, but Fi really was the most interesting one. Here's her original design. She's very mysterious. She's meant to be the sort of Kyoko Kirigiri type of character, where her origin's kind of unknown. She has a relationship with the main character Sigma that's kind of complicated, and she ends up being kind of the mouthpiece for a lot of the time travel stuff that happens in the show. When you do eventually find out who she is, where she came from, it feels really rewarding, because they really made you sit and wait for it, and you were eagerly willing to eat up every bite. There's a lot of interesting characters in Zero Escape. I just think she kind of beats out the other ones. Then we have Shadow the Hedgehog. No explanation necessary. Then we have Slave Knight Gale. Oh, this one. Oh, I misspelled Knight. Slave Knight Gale. Can I find a video? So, this is from Dark Souls 3. I'm not a super duper fan of Dark Souls, but I have to admit there's some amazing stuff in it. The entire From Software series, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, and whatnot, I understand it. Even if the gameplay is challenging and difficult, there's some really cool stuff. And in Dark Souls 1, you find out about how humans have been doomed to immortality forever, right? So they go hollow after they just kind of lose their sense of self. They've lived for so long, they just kind of revert to their base instincts because they can't handle being conscious anymore. They've just existed for too long. And in Dark Souls 2, you see civilizations rise and fall, but by Dark Souls 3, you see that the world is starting to actually turn to ash. Because the way the cycle works is they have to keep rekindling the flame that keeps civilization going. They tie human immortality to the flame, and someone inevitably always rekindles that flame. By this point, by Dark Souls 3, the people are being literally made of ash. Ash is being animate and being re-ashed and rekindled and re-burnt. The world is starting to deteriorate and fall apart. Immortality has lasted so long that history has kind of stopped. We're not moving on. This is the end of everything. And in the DLC, the finale of the Dark Souls 3 story, basically, you can find Slave Knight Gale. Slave Knight Gale's story is that he was a slave knight, sent on behalf of some patriarchs, rich people, whatever. But he had a mission. It was his goal to try to fix immortality. See, the problem is that humans were a bit special. There was this thing called the Dark Soul. And it is the only thing that is truly immortal. This is why humans become cursed with immortality. They take advantage of this dark soul, and the dark soul becomes part of every human, as well as these human descendants called pygmies. Or ancestors, whatever, you get the point. So the idea, in one of the DLCs with Sister Freed, she tries to escape this horrible reality by making a painted world, an artificial world made of magic paint, that tries to escape this reality. The problem, though, is that everything rots. We may be immortal, but everything still rots, and that's why our immortality is suffering. So this world is rotting because the paint is rotting and the world is slowly rotting and everyone in here is being tortured by it. So the patriarchs have an idea. If we can get a paint that's eternal, that will never rot, then we could make an escape, another world that can exist forever. One that might be a haven, an escape from this reality. And that's why Slave Knight Gale goes out to reclaim the Dark Soul. For if he's able to reclaim the Dark Soul, they could use the soul as paint. They can use it as paint for the new world. But you know what this means, right? He has to kill every human. Not just kill them, he has to consume them. If he can kill every human in existence, reunite their souls, this Dark Soul will finally be whole once more, and they can escape. Whether this even counts as death, it's more like he's absorbing their soul, you know? So he has a mission to eat every person, every human. It sounds terrible, right? And yet, he's kind of the hero. When you see him, when you finally meet him, you meet him in the distant future where most of the world here is nothing but ash. And you find him. I'm going to play what he says. So you see he's eating somebody.
Still here. Hand it over, that thing, your dark soul. For my lady's painting.
So, you're the two last humans in existence. Because every other human has been gobbled up by him. He represents all of humanity except for you. And he possesses all of their souls. He just needs yours, and it will be complete. Except you're kind of time traveling to the future, so that's a little debatable whether he actually needs yours or not. Whatever, not important. The point is you have to fight him, and he fights like an animal. Like a monster. Because he's like just operating off of like primal instinct. Well, not really, because he's still intelligent. He's determined. The only thing keeping him to sanity is the determination for his mission. The entire purpose he has in life. The purpose is what keeps you from being hollowed in Dark Souls. It is the thing that keeps you sane. If you can have a purpose to your existence, you'll be able to keep your sense of self, your sense of sanity, before you resort to your just base desires. But halfway through the fight, you make him bleed. The blood is black.
Is this the blood? The blood of the dark
And he realizes he has succeeded. He has consumed every human soul. He has the Dark Soul contained within him. He has the one thing that's immortal, the one thing that can escape us from this cursed reality and can make the perfect painting that you can disappear into. And with this, he immediately hollows, his mission finally complete. And so he reverts to his base instincts, his core, back before this mission, before he had to eat everything for a just cause, before he became the animal. He becomes the slave knight. And you can literally see the souls burning off of him, the aura of every human soul. And he goes back into his posture. He walks towards you like a holy knight. Like, he doesn't talk anymore because he's not there anymore. He's just on autopilot. He succeeded and now he's just on autopilot. Slave Knight Gale is the actual protagonist of Dark Souls. You don't play as the real protagonist, the real hero. He worked harder than anyone else ever had to in history. Like, he literally sends souls at you as part of his attacks. Speed up. I can't believe he has a gun. Like, look at that. It's horrifying. And basically, because he no longer has his sense of self, you can kill him and therefore absorb the souls of all humanity, absorb the dark soul, and you can take it back and use it to make the painting. This is basically the secret good ending to Dark Souls 3, to the Dark Souls world. It allows an escape from a world of ash, so that hopefully in a hypothetical future, the world will be literally nothing but ash and then one perfect painting. And inside that painting is where life continues. Sorry, I know it's a lot of lore stuff, but I think Dark Souls lore is actually really interesting once you actually understand it. It can be obtuse in giving that information, but it's really cool. Anyway, let's see. Do we have anyone else here? Nope. We're going to number 10 of the top 10 characters. Rosalina. I mean, look. Mario, Rosalina. She's just really cool, really cute. You know, there's a lot of fan art of her that makes her more attractive, which I can't blame because I mean, look how pretty she is, you know? This is her appearance from Smash. You see one of her baby Lumas. Her whole thing is being mother of the cosmos. They're coming out the Mario Galaxy movie now. I hope it's good because I think Rosalina is a really interesting character. She's also really tragic. She doesn't have like a whole romance plot line. She is a mother. She is a mother of the stars. All of them, every planet, every galaxy is her child. She is one of the gods of the Mario world. She's just a really detailed Mario character I wish we could see more of. She had her storybook in the original Galaxy that honestly brought me to tears. Rosalina's storybook in Mario Galaxy.
Ooh.
She's, as a child, Rosalina left her home to try to find her mother, and she goes all around the galaxy, and this is when she meets the Luma babies. And they try to find their mom while she tries to find her mom. But the really tragic thing is at the end of the story, they find out... Okay, here, look. Peeking into the telescope, a tiny blue dot floated into sight. It was smaller than a star bit. How strange, if it's so far away, but it feels so close. She twisted... Oh, it's a little loud. She twisted the knob of the telescope, and the blue dot grew until she could make out a grassy hill dotted with flowers. It seemed very familiar to her. Zooming even closer, a terrace on the hill came into view. I used to go stargazing there when I lived on my home planet. She remembered rubbing the sleep out of her eyes as she followed her father up that hill to look at the stars. She remembered how she and her brother would sled down that hill. She remembered having picnics with her mother on that hill on bright and windy days. And... I want to go home. I want to go home right now. The girl burst into tears, and the Lumas didn't know what to do. I want to go home. I want to go back to my house by the hill. I want to see my mother. The girl was shouting now, her face wet with tears. But I know she's not there. I knew all along that she wasn't out there in the sky. Because... she's sleeping under the tree on the hill. And the Lumas try to cheer her up, and basically Rosalina becomes their mother and takes care of them. Sorry, it's just really sweet. She explored the galaxy to find her mom because she wanted to distract herself from realizing that her mom was dead. All right, sorry. Number 9, Asgore Dreamer. As you can tell from the Undertale musical, I really like Asgore. I think it's really interesting the way he was it Bergentrunk? No. Trying to find the right song. As Bergentrunken. Bergentrunkung. There we go. So the Asgore boss fight is like horrifying because he has convinced himself that he needs to do a really terrible thing. He needs to kill this child to save his people. Here, let me play this. If by chance you have any unfinished business, do what you must. And if you try to continue, he can't let you leave. He needs your soul to break the barrier to free his people. He's just missing one. Human. It was nice to meet you. Goodbye. With very few exceptions, Asgore is the only NPC in the game, the only boss you cannot spare, because he won't spare you. This is a fight to the death. There is no sparing. In a game that's about trying to find ways to spare your enemies, Asgore is the one who's so determined by ideology, by the political position, by a greater cause of saving his people, that sparing is off the table. And it's heartbreaking. He is, in my opinion, the most interesting, most morally complicated character in Undertale. All right, and that's number 9. My number 8th favorite character, Kanaya Mariam from Homestuck. She's just a really cool troll character. Her fashion thing is really interesting. And she has this like relationship with Rose that I really ship that I think is cool. And she also has this interesting kind of take on like femininity and motherhood. Like she's trying to like raise the matriarch. I don't know. I talked about Homestuck a lot. I think I'll just move on. That's number 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 8. Now number 7. Urza Scarlet. So this is from Fairy Tail. I talked on the shows about why I like Fairy Tail, and honestly, a lot of it is Urza. I think she's a good example of a character that can be sexy but still owns her sexuality as opposed to some of the other characters. Her thing is that she changes into really cool outfits to fight in, so she's kind of like an RPG hero with magic. And she's just very strong-willed. Not only that, but she has a really cool backstory. Trying to find some more good art. Finding a lot of fan art and figurines. Here. She has a really cool backstory where she was a child slave who was able to escape but had to leave her friends behind. So she's an orphan, and she's seen some wretched, horrible things. And because of that, she has an extremely strong sense towards justice. There's an idea that a lot of neurodivergent people have stronger senses of justice than normal people. This is something I have seen often enough that I do believe it is true, that there's just something about neurodivergence that leads to, I think, a less willingness to be hypocritical on moral issues. It's kind of funny because a lot of articles I've seen talk about neurodivergent people or autistic people as if we're like lesser or worse, and like often we're more morally consistent actually. And I think Urza is very relatable on that front because she's so moralistic to a fault. she's not just like goody goody good guy, but like she fights for what's right. It's very important to her, and there's just something to really respect there. Anyway, next I'm going to move up to number 6, Andrew Ryan. Andrew Ryan is the main character of BioShock. There are other characters, but none of them really compare. I've already talked about BioShock in a previous stream, but his whole thing about a man chooses is so powerful. His story is the story of Rapture in BioShock, of what if you let libertarians run the world? What would happen? And the answer is tragedy. The answer is abject tragedy. He is based off of Howard Hughes, the real-life person. And he was like a rich man who would hold himself up into Vegas and was like a libertarian tech bro back before we really used that type of term. And next up, we have Robert House, who is basically the same exact character, also based off of Howard Hughes. He is, they're having the new Fallout TV show. I hope it's good. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be good or not. I'm nervous about it, but it's from Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout New Vegas is the best Fallout game. Here's Mr. House's portrait. A little blurry, but you get the idea. He's genuinely a really interesting character. Mr. House best quotes. Let's hear a good one from him. Okay.
You aren't going to ramble on about the virtues of life out in the wastes, are you? It's a desert, you do realize. A radioactive desert where humans subsist in a barbaric state. Difficult to glorify convincingly. They are, however, aptly named. For that's what you'd be out there, wasted. Here on the Strip, your talents can be put to use. You deliver by 4 platinum starting from 2020. The time I was 30 years old and ransom my property to me? I spent 2 centuries searching for the platinum chip. It's my invention, my property, mine. Now be a good courier and deliver it. An interesting that offering you, as I say, and your vacation time give to Senator. I would rule as a chief executive. I would not answer to a board of directors or any other entity. Nothing to impede progress. If you want to see the fate of democracies, look out the windows.
That is his best quote, in my opinion. If you want to see the fate of democracies, look out the windows, because it's been a post-apocalypse. The world has ended, but democracies failed. Mr. House is a salient critique of democracy as a concept. Now, he is, of course, wrong. If you side with him, you only have to get a few quests in before he asks you to do a genocide. And, like, he justifies it, and, like, yeah, those people he genocides are a threat, like, because they're part of a faction with some problematic ideals that would actually pose a threat to him, but still, it shows you the lengths he will go for pragmatism, for the sake of pragmatism alone. Mr. House is an extremely flawed character, but that's what makes him so interesting. Again, it's the sort of what if a libertarian got to run the world type of thing. One thing I don't like is he talks about how cats are extinct, and Bethesda has since retconned that, which makes him wrong in that regard, which is it's just a little detail that frustrates me. Anyway, yeah, Mr. House is evil, but you can understand why he thinks he's right. There were so many times growing up I played through this game and I wanted to side with House. He seemed so interesting. I wanted to help him. The NCR was so flawed, and yes, man, like, who really knows what's going on with him? Like, but House, you get it. But every time I had to turn my back on him and I had to betray him because, like, once you know who he is, even though he lays it out on the table for you, you realize it's not good enough. It's pretty bad, actually. So, yeah. All right. Number 4, fourth best character of all time, the Emperor from Baldur's Gate 3. BG3 Emperor. The Emperor is the main Illithid that you'll encounter in Baldur's Gate 3. He is one of the most fascinating characters. It is one of the most fascinating characters. I've talked before about how Baldur's Gate 3 engages a little bit with the concept of a soul and what it means to be a thinking person versus a philosophical zombie. And the Emperor is a great case study. The thing I think I love about the Emperor the most is the Emperor's morals are whatever they need to be. You can work with the moral. You can work with the Emperor. You can even sleep with it. And you'll have a happy relationship where everything's hunky-dory. And the Emperor will be good. But you can fight the Emperor. You can turn on it. You can make it your enemy. And the Emperor will be evil. Because the Emperor doesn't really have a set of morals. The Emperor just has a set of goals. And the Emperor will do whatever is necessary to accomplish those goals. Whether that means working with you or against you. And that makes them fascinating. All right. Number 3, best character of all time. All right, we're getting up there. By the way, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that I was covering the character sheet because it's all the way on the right. My bad. Here's the list. Go away. See? There we go. I'm sorry about that. But I've been narrating, so it's not too bad. Anyway, we're at the top now. So number 3, Kim Kitsuragi. I already talked about him in the Disco Elysium video, but Kim Kitsuragi is the best companion to have ever existed in a game. I saw this fan art, or was it fan art or was it official? I think it's official. Yeah, where did this art come from? I don't know where this art came from. Maybe it's official, but this art really captures Kim Kitsuragi. It's in the final scene of the game, one of them anyway, where he has to finally take a shot, even though he's not great with eyesight, and he gets a nat 12. God, please. It's a tear-jerking moment in the game. It's one that didn't really hit me the first time around. I was kind of caught off guard by it, but rewatching it, replaying it, I can really, really appreciate it. All right, number 2, Satsuki Kuryuin. Kill la Kill is a great anime, but it has its problems. Those problems are not Satsuki. Satsuki is amazing. She has this whole allegory as the Japanese emperor during World War II, and that she's a fascist, except she's only pretending to be. She has a heel turn later on in the show. And she also, because the Kill la Kill has the whole fashion as fascism type of thing, she wears a superpowered outfit that has to be sexy, because if it covers too much of you, it'll kill you, because it's like a parasite, because clothing is parasites here. So what's her powered form? I forget. It's called Junketsu. Let's see. Sure, this works. So yeah, she's very much, mommy step on me vibes. But that just kind of makes her even cooler, in my opinion. She's one of the characters that embraces sexuality. She literally says, if I have to bare my breasts for power, then so be it. Which is, pretty hot, pretty cool too. And then now we have the number 1 character, the best character of all time, Junko Enoshima. One of the reasons I like Danganronpa is because of Junko Enoshima. Now, this is going to be a spoiler. She is the mastermind of the first game, and the second, and the third, and the 53rd. They do this bit that's really hilarious where Junko ends up being the main bad guy of pretty much every game, and it's kind of hilarious. Come on, there we go. Why is it so low quality? That's annoying. Whatever. You can see her picture here. This is someone making some cosplay. Interesting. But yeah, here's Junko Enoshima. She is the ultimate fashionista, the ultimate diva, also the ultimate analytical prowess. She represents despair. She represents the main plot of Danganronpa, of the world being corrupted by despair, of nihilism. Again, that kind of go to this theme. And I just kind of love how, like, much of a Valley Girl, she's like, oh my goodness, you really want hope? Despair is such the best way. Duh. Come on. And I love that aesthetic. I've been trying to practice the Valley Girl voice, but it's a little hard to do consistently for me. I need to try to get proper voice training. Anyway, she's really cool. I know some people hate her. It's kind of controversial to like Junko so much, but I'm gonna be honest. Do you guys just hate fun? Like, seriously, I think honestly a lot of it really just is sexism. She does the Valley Girl voice, and some people just find that voice annoying. And I think they kind of need to check themselves a little bit. I'm gonna be honest. But she's just a really fun villain. I think she represents a lot of different things at the same time. I think ultimately she thinks despair is erotic. She thinks it is desirable. She thinks suffering makes stories and tragedy. And she's right, at least partially, because you're playing the game. You're playing the game based on the ideals she represents. You're seeing these people suffer. Now, yes, you want to try to get back at her. You want to try to take her down. She is the bad villain to be thwarted. But you ate up the game with all these deaths and murders and trials up to this point. Doesn't that mean she kind of has a point about making entertainment? Again, another spoiler. Later on in Danganronpa V3, she even has a scene by the end where she realizes that they're fictional characters, that they're just artwork, basically. And she's like, I don't care. Even as a fictional character, I can still spread despair into the real world because fiction can affect the real world. She basically unironically becomes a let's do a video games cause violence thing. But it's nuanced because while it is reductive to say video games cause violence, because you could say that of any media ever, media does still affect us and affects how we perceive the world. It's not going to make us pick up a gun, but it is going to make us think. It's about ideology, about the perspective of the way you view the world. And Junko wants to use Danganronpa itself to make you into a nihilist that fetishizes despair like she does. The fact they combine her with Tsumugi later on in that game, I think makes her an even more complicated character, more nuanced, more sides and facets of her personality. It's almost like she couldn't just decide on one personality and has to pick multiple. And some people might say that makes her a weak character because she's juggling, like, not really personalities, but more like modes of engagement, like affects, personas, you might say. But I think you can kind of get a feel for what's underneath those personas, as well as the personality of the personas themselves. To me, I think she's just a bunch of characters wrapped into one, and I like the individual facets of those characters, even though she's really evil. Girl boss, girl slay, literally, I guess. Yeah, she's just a lot of fun. So this has been my top 10 characters. So, just to recap, top 10 video games: Lisa, the Painful RPG, Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. Apparently they're doing a remake. I don't know how that's going to go. Inscription, Pokemon Emerald, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, Undertale, Baldur's Gate 3, Outer Wilds, Disco Elysium, Fallout New Vegas. TV shows: Edge of Sleep, Future Diary, Steins Gate, Kaiji Ultimate Survivor, The Legend of Vox Machina, Full Metal Alchemist, Kill la Kill, Hazbin Hotel, Puelli, Magi, Madoka Magica, and Pluto. Movies: District 9, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, Wreck-It Ralph, K-Pop Demon Hunters, Barbie, Tomorrowland, Get Out, Spirited Away, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, Promare. Songs: There's Something Wrong with My AI Girlfriend's Face, Manchild, Party in the CIA, Welcome to the Internet, Hurt, Undertale, Vending Machine of Love, 2 Minutes Notice, Transcendental Cha-Cha-Cha, Pink Pony Club. Characters: Rosalina, Asgore Dreamer, Kanaya Mariam, Urza Scarlet, Andrew Ryan, Robert House, The Emperor, Kim Kitsuragi, Satsuki Kiryuin, and Junko Enoshima. That is my favorite things. I thank you all for watching. My voice is hoarse. I only have an hour left anyway, 3/4. I think that's good. Next time, I'm going to get my wife Kira on board and we're going to finish our Minecraft series. But keep in mind, I will be off next week. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks. We still have Cinematic Fallout releasing 1 episode per week just because I have to stretch it out. We're busy with the surgery and we have some other stuff we're dealing with as well. So thank you for your support, everybody. If you could, please leave a like on the stream. I should have said that earlier. We also have a Discord you can join. You can find the link on my YouTube channel if you want to check it out. Any support you give me really helps just to make me feel like I'm not screeching into the void. After the surgery, I was thinking of playing the Outer Worlds 2, and I was still hoping of dreaming of playing some Pokemon hacks and fan games someday. But we will see if that happens. Thank you all, and good luck to you.